This is an emergency broadcast on all YouTube bulletin stations. There is currently a massive emergency. Please.
Oh, no, there isn't. Welcome to the Sunday Night Social, the show that very nearly wasn't. I have this weekend been riddled. I'm riddled with the COVID, full of it, head to toe. And I cannot pretend. Although my headache abated a couple of hours ago, and I thought, you know what, it would cheer me up to see everyone in the Adams Arms. Have a Sunday Night Social with the regulars. Do we have a lot to talk about? My word, has the football cheered you up this weekend? I know that as ill as I have felt, with the exception of the Man City result, couldn't have really gone much better. Arsenal yesterday, the 5:30 Saturday kickoff. It's a strange one, the 5:30 kickoff. I don't have good memories of it. It feels like you wait all day for the match and then. But yesterday was different. Yesterday was a good game. Yesterday we went to Craven Cottage for the first time in 3 seasons, came away with 3 points. Wasn't a smash and grab. It was the second game in a row where an opposition team have failed to have a shot. Do we need Raya in goal? It's just a question. I'm just saying, do we need Raya in goal? Could we just put a bowl of Weetabix in goal and probably do all right, wouldn't we? I thought Fulham were disappointing, but there was that horrifying moment at the beginning where Gabriel had, travelled all the way back from Japan, I believe, and had a few errors in him, shall we say, at the beginning. But I think the way he grew into the game was outstanding. I want to talk about the game in general a lot, but the most important thing was 3 points. And then I started thinking, you know what? Am I allowed to celebrate this? Am I allowed to celebrate it? We've got the celebration police.
Absolute beauty. Dancing in the rain, Thomas Frank. We're seeing that sort of second ball on.
I'm not going to jump for joy when we win a game. Yeah. What I want to see is a title. Because I see we win every season. We see we win in game out. 2 seasons, 3 seasons ago, we've been leading the Premier League. We look like we're going to win the Premier League, and we didn't do it.
I'm going to celebrate. Do you know what? It's a weird one, this one for me. I know we talked about it a bit last week, but I'm digging my heels in. I am from the George Graham era. A 1-0 victory away to a mid-table team was celebrated. We celebrated getting the points. We used to rub it in. We used to sing 1-0 to the Arsenal. We used to enjoy the shit out of it. And frankly, if you want to see us win titles, then winning games without the opposition having a shot on target is a really good way of doing that. Just ask Liverpool. Now, be honest. Yardman came in for a lot of criticism over the last couple of weeks for his saying that he wouldn't celebrate just because we win games, which does make you wonder why you go into games. But also, for me, even stupider was that he said he'd rather win the Europa League than the Premier League. To stop away fans singing Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. I don't give a shit what fans sing. The Europa League is not Champions of Europe to start with. But no, so we have some differences of opinion. I will say, though, he got it spot on. He was absolutely right when he said that Man United would go to Liverpool, to go to Anfield and tear it up. And my goodness, what a game that was. Did any one of you think that there was a remotest chance that Man United would win at Anfield for the first time since 2016? That Harry Maguire header at the end, I think I can forgive the Manchester United fans over celebrating. Is there such a thing as over celebrating? Listen, you guys are absolutely amazing here on a Sunday night. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go through your comments. Otherwise, we're just going to get to a point where I never, ever catch up. But lots to talk about. We are top of the league. And I'm shameless about it. I'm going to be absolutely shameless about it because we are top of the league. And that's that. And ain't I like to be happy about that? Surely it is difficult to do. 4 points clear as well. Get out of it. I honestly thought that, well, we'll go into where I thought the teams would be, but I thought there was a good chance we could be 10 points behind Liverpool at this point in the season, and we find ourselves 4 points ahead. With some winnable games coming up, which, if opposition teams never get a chance of a shot against us, I'm really confident. Fresh Drip are big up Dan Zanzi, Rosie, Malia, and everyone in the chat. Have a great time here at the Adams Arms where legends reside. P.S. A minute silence for Ange Postecoglou. They hardly knew you. I'm going to ask the question because I think it's a question that's getting asked everywhere. Do you think that 39 days in charge, or was it 38 or 39 days in charge of Nottingham Forest, is enough? Should he have been given more time? Was it 8 defeats in a row? Does that mean you're a crap manager? My opinion is, yeah, it's plenty. They should never have hired him in the first place. Don't know what they were thinking. Although when you hear that Sean Dyche is lined up as the next one in, I've got a feel for Nottingham Forest fans. They liked Steve Cooper. They loved Nuno Espirito Santo, who seemed to have lost his job just because of disagreement with Edu/Marinakis. They bring in Ante Postecoglou. They're in free fall in the relegation. I mean, this is a team that qualified for Europe last season. It's a massive drop-off. And I've heard people saying, oh, he'll get like a 10 million, 12 million payout. He won't. You won't get anything like that. You'll get, it's usually based on how long you serve of your contract. But he'll still get probably $1 million or $2 million. And that's not bad for a month's work. Get the super chats in. Let's see if we can do that here. Evening fresh, says Zanzi. Apparently just fresh, but okay, there you go. Evening Zanzi, hope you're well. Evening landlord, I'll have a pint of unhappy scousers and a packet of happy manx, please. God, they've had so little to be happy about, haven't they? And Hawkwind is here, which I need not tell you. I should not need to tell you means what? For Postecoglou. Find me a Nottingham Forest fan who wants to see him get another chance. That's all I would say. And here we are, Wexford in the ass. Good evening, lads. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. And Malia, fantastic to see you, of course, as ever. Wonderful to have you all here. Hey, boss man, legend, and ultimate OG. What you saying, fam? Saying top of the league, innit, bruv? Ain't celebrating, though. It's flaky to celebrate, right? I only celebrate in June. I'm celebrating right now. Fuck it. And fresh apart. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Boy 10 Dio's here. Always gets us through. We're winning the league, by the way. BTW, by the way, we are winning the league. And now you're going to believe us, and now you're going to believe us. I don't know. Long way to go. 'Tis a marathon, not a sprint. I don't think there's anything wrong with being optimistic. And not just because this is now 4 consecutive defeats in a row for Arnie Slot's team. They will put it right. Isak will come good. I am a bit sick about Isak. I had him in my fantasy league team. Perhaps we'll get Anthony on. Perhaps Anthony will show his face later and explain how it's done, because I have no idea. I did have captain Erling Haaland, but doesn't everyone? But the reality is, over the last 32 years, the average number of games that a title-winning side have lost is 4.2. Liverpool have now lost 3 in the first 8. 9? Sorry, do I keep saying 8 and it's actually 9? I'll double-check that, because you deserve better. You deserve better. It is, in fact, 8, isn't it? It's 8 games played. 6 wins, 1 defeat, which was a really scrappy defeat. And Liverpool, we had to listen to them saying for ages, didn't we? Oh, you better fear us because we're playing like crap and we're still winning. Well, now you're playing like crap and you're losing at home to Man United, and they're not a good side. We're currently top, which is always a better place to be in. I know, and you get a lot of discussion points around, would you rather be chasing or would you rather be top? I'd always rather be top. Seems a silly question. Zanzi, seeing happy Arsenal fans is painful. The pain of seeing most of your family and friends happy. I'm scum. I like them depressed. At least you're honest. You're honest, but you're going to have to suffer this. A lot of people have no idea what they're talking. I mean, I hear this a lot. I can stand Arsenal fans when they're winning. Trust me, it clears out a lot of the grumpy old sods who are miserable all the time, because they're going to have nothing to be miserable about. They'll just have to go back to being miserable about immigration or something. I don't know. Only 3 goals scored on us in 8 games. Correcto. But, when you look at what those goals were, Erling Haaland is a goal machine. That's why he's captain of my fantasy league team. So we've got Erling Haaland scored against us. And Szoboszlai's free kick, that would have gone in against anyone. And Voltemard, who is looking like, undercover the best striker anyone signed, right? All the talk about Isak, he was poo today. He was poo sticks. Then, Iktige came on and he had that shot, but didn't do anything either. For us, Gyökeres hasn't quite come good yet. I'm not saying I don't think he will. I am saying, though, that a lot of the people who were absolutely adamant that he was a better signing than Šeško, it's still too early to tell. But and Šeško didn't start today either. So a lot of the big name signings that just haven't quite worked out. I thought Cunha looked fantastic today for Man United, and then Mbeumo just always impresses me at the moment. So they've probably done the best in terms of putting together a front line. Want to talk about the Arsenal-Fulham game a little bit yesterday. I didn't think Eze was outstanding, but you know what? Like, that happens. It can happen. There are going to be games where you're not 100% your best. It's a shame, though, because that's the sort of game I thought he'd really thrive in. Kermit's middle finger with a well-timed ribbit. Stop it. Stop it. We're so good this season. I can't even believe it. Oh my God. It's so great. It's so great to see us. When, I don't know. I think we've got gears to go through. I think the game against Fulham was just another job well done, right? It was I want to say easy business. I'm not going to say light work. I'm just going to imply it. No, I don't even think it was. I wasn't worried, though. I wasn't worried. I think there was the first half, the first 20 or so minutes where it just looked like we weren't gelling. You thought it's always a tough place to come. Trossard celebration of his goal. It's nice to see him celebrating goals because that all started with him not celebrating Aston Villa. Feels like good team spirit. Feels like team unity. Certainly, we don't have anyone like Virgil van Dijk shooting everyone daggers. That's all good. I think that Arsenal. I think the conversation we were having at the end of last weekend was, last 2 weekends, should we be favourites? I think we're showing that we are favourites. I mean, the money will go short of favourites now. It's very hard to bet on Liverpool. As I said, if they only lose one more game this season, it'll be a hell of an achievement. They'll have to get their shit together pretty damn quickly. And that's not necessarily, their run of games coming up is not necessarily the run of games you'd expect them to do that. They have a bit of a break in the Champions League, get away to Frankfurt. And I think they could maybe put it right with that one. But then after that, they've got to go away to Brentford. Then they've got Crystal Palace in the League Cup, home to Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa, I've almost totally forgotten, didn't I? Apart from throwing shade on Tottenham, Thomas Frank for celebrating, which I don't really think is bad. But, he did over-celebrate. He over-celebrated a 1-0 lead as if they'd won the Champions League against Tottenham, against Aston Villa. Interestingly, Emery always beats Thomas Frank. So perhaps we can spend a little bit of our very important Sunday night time talking about what do we really think is happening at Spurs? Do we think they're a threat this season? Are they going to take a point or more off us? 3 goals conceded, 11 games, mate, not just 8. We're talking about league, though. Yeah, it's true that we haven't conceded in 11. Ribbit, fresh drip. Even better, Zanzi. True that. I told you, United always turn up against the big teams, and we didn't turn up against us. You saying we're not a big team now? Oh, we are. Hi, Adrisadam. What have you been up to? Here we go. Oh, it's 38 days. My apologies. 38 days. Look at that. 38 days and a 38-word message saying you're not here anymore. I wouldn't worry too much about him. He can go back to doing what he was doing before. Yeah, it's just who I am, mate, Thomas. I'm not a clown. I'm a mascot. Get it right. Clowns entertain people. Go on, Universe. Show me the Black Swan event that breaks title change. I fucking dare you. World War III is going to break out. No, it won't, because Trump is making peace everywhere he goes. There will be no World War III. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we are genuinely just going to win the league, which to some of our fans, I think will appear like an apocalyptic event. They'll be like, the Gluminati will be sitting around going, well, what do we do now? Well, this isn't in the program. No way of knowing how to react to winning the league. How do I hate Arteta if he does win us the league? I don't know. I watched Liverpool versus Manchester United. I think a few of us did. in the pub. What a good place to watch football. Twice in the one legend in 6 months has to be a record. Twice in the one legend in 6 months has to be a record. Don't know what that means. Explain yourself. Glory, glory, Man United. I wonder if he's going to pop in. We have a Man United supporter. I wish I had an intro like Hawk. I'll get you one. I'm going to do one for everyone. It's just, you know what it is? It's just tight. It's long, isn't it? It's a long thing. Oi, oi, Savaloy, make some fucking noise. Demonetized. Brilliant to see you, Anthony. You are so beautiful. Big arms, wee ears, Earth Vader, Ernie Vader, Anthony, dipped in sherbet Herbert. You beautiful man. We're built for the marathon, expressly built for the marathon. We can outrun any prey in our persistence. What? You've gone Attenborough. What? I'm going to try and do this in an Attenborough voice. I'm not really with it, but we are built for the marathon, expressly built for the marathon. We can outrun any prey with our persistence. We are the hunter-gatherers of this league. We just have to realize it now. Oh boy, Anthony's here. Watch him gloat about his FPL team. I don't even think it was that good this week, was it? Oh boy. Anthony Herbert, oi, you Bristolian, got some nice scrumpy for you. Best drink it quick because it's slowly eating through the glass jar. It's not glass. We put it in a plastic gallon jar. Remember when we said if we lose 3 games at the beginning of the season, then the chances are you ain't winning the league? Liverpool have suffered that fate. They do still have a chance. Of course, they still have a chance. I mean, there are leagues where people have lost 6 or 7 games. This could be one such league. I mean, we're riding high on the table at the moment with 4 points clear. We have some okay fixtures coming up. It's always these ones that start worrying you, isn't it? Because you look at it and go, well, we should probably win these games. But Palace at home, it's never as, I mean, we drew last season. It was a pretty nothing game as well last season. But then Burnley and Sunderland away, doesn't necessarily guarantee you 3 points. Why I think is worth pointing out, though, is Liverpool's next 3 opponents are Brentford away, which for them is a pretty poor stomping ground, Aston Villa at home, which they typically win, and then Man City away, which is great for us, isn't it? Because either way, they get a point, City get a point, we might extend our lead. But it's looking a lot better than my prediction, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who thought we were going to have an incredibly difficult first part of the season because we're facing so many big games away. So many difficult opponents. We have now played Man United, Liverpool, Newcastle, Man City, all in the first 8 games, which is quite mad. You know, like Man United away, Liverpool away, and Newcastle away in your first 6 games. That's pretty strong. Man City at home. I hope we don't look back on that Man City game with some regret. And certainly the way that Man United played at Anfield, I think we might have, if we'd known they weren't quite at it, we might have gone at them like that a bit more. But we didn't. We didn't. Only 52 I knew it. Only 52 points this week. Poor week. But still top. I'm going to do a quick show tomorrow just on a fantasy Premier League and another bit of a roundup. It's only going to be a short show, probably about the same time. Catch it if you can. He reminds me of Kanu, that goal he scored today for Newcastle. You talk about Voldemort. Oh, mate. His was a goal yesterday, wasn't it? Oh, what a finish from Voldemort. Absolutely love him. Really does look the business. I'm going to have to race through these comments. Somebody's at 10:42. 10:42? That's 8 minutes ago. It took Haaland as Jobbo won a goal in the early in favour for informed striker of the season to score against us. 1 each. Our defence is nasty to play against. Impossible. There were some moments yesterday where I thought they could have capitalised. And then, here we go. So, Zanzi, on my way, hope the glass jars will last when I get it. Of course it will. Of course it will. Don't worry about it. Getting away from Fulham with a W is good tidings for this season. They've been a bogey team the last few years. I do remember, though, it was a game in, was it March? It was around Easter time. Gabby, and it was our first season challenge for the title. Gabby Jesus had just came back in that game after his injury in November. And Trossard put in a hat-trick of assists. It was a fabulous. And since then, it's been not so good at all. Miss Molina. Good evening, everybody. Please make sure you to like the stream if you haven't already. Thanks for your support here. Do you know what? Thank you for saying that, Miss Molina. It makes a massive difference. just gives you a nice warm feeling, doesn't it, when people click the like? Anyway, glad you're well done. I am feeling, do you know what? Being here, I've got work again tomorrow, so I thought, you know what, whatever. This is my team for Tuesday. Nope, not doing that yet. Slow down. Landlord, Trouble, Fresh, Rosie, Malia, Dia. Is Rosie here? Have I missed Rosie? Adam, Zanzi, Chris, Hawkwind. Good evening, everybody. Nick's here. Miss Melina, hope you're well. Ribbit, Kermit. Beautifully said. Hi, Miss. Did you watch the Bayern Dortmund yesterday? No, I didn't. The Klassiker. I didn't. I have gone right off. I don't know what it is. I'm just a petty-minded idiot. I can't deal with Harry Kane in a Bayern shirt. I'm sorry. But I think they look nailed on. Elise, on the other hand, I love watching in a Bayern shirt. I've sort of moved ever since they were promoted. St. Pauli is my de facto team now in the Bundesliga. But yeah, great, another great performance. He's absolutely on fire at the moment. Harry Kane. Miss Melina, Queen of Arsenal. Well, young lady. Big up, Anthony. I'm okay, thank you. How are you doing? Hope you're well also. Russ Morgan, evening. Good evening. Look, Jordan's here. Big up, Mel. I'm sure he meant me as well. I'm not taking it badly. Much better. Right, so Ribbit, Miss Melina. Hi, Dan. How are you doing, my bro? I'm good. I want to know how you're doing. Have you resigned yourself to the fact that you're not going to win the league this season? I think you should. I think it's over. I think that's done. If you lose at home to Man United, you can't win the league. That's never happened. And Dan, your David Attenborough impression sounded like you have asthma. Okay. Hear me out. Show him out. If Arsenal win 3 games, Arsenal will get 28 points. If Arsenal win the next 3 games, yep, you're doing maths. We can all do that. We're built different this season. Average. Where are we up to? So. Do you know, I've caught up. What happened there? Get scribbling. Get your thoughts down. So what am I revisiting as a main idea? I want to talk about the Arsenal game. First of all, slow start for all the players. It was a match that how you play doesn't really matter to anyone, does it? A scrappy 1-0. To be fair, I want to actually talk about this penalty because we saw the penalty overturned against Newcastle because Pope had just touched the ball. In this case, this is now the second penalty I've seen overturned. It is worth saying, though, that there was a lot of speculation that, Mikel Arteta said it and Bukayo Saka said it. Look, if it's taken that long for the VAR to actually see whether it should have been a penalty or not, truth was one of the screens they were using in the VAR box was faulty, probably all of them. But that's why it took so long to make the decision. And the decision itself is not a difficult decision to make. You can see that he clearly gets the ball. I think when you look at it again, though, you see that he gets Saka first. So I think it's a fair decision penalty. I don't think it's a clear and obvious mistake. And I think we can feel a little bit hard done to. But in a way, it's kind of nice that we didn't get that penalty because we haven't had a lot of shit to deal with. Like we're not doing a lot of bad decisions against us. 1 or 2 questionable, iffy decisions. But I don't think you can say as an Arsenal fan, and maybe tell me 1 or 2 of you who aren't Arsenal fans, let me know. Do you think that we're just making a big fuss? Anyway, personally speaking, when we didn't get that penalty, I still wasn't worried. It's nice to have a 2-goal cushion. You never know what can happen. But really, they didn't have a shot on target, so you can't feel too worried about it. Would you love it if we signed Elise? Great play, of course. Yeah, it's just no chance of it. Canterbury Gooner. Look at that. Tony Adams. What a beautiful little image you have there. How badly do Liverpool miss Trent? What great question, by the way. Welcome. Yeah, I don't know. I think there is something in this. I don't think what we're dealing with Mo Salah is, signed a contract. It wasn't the Aubameyang thing that's letting him down. I think what's happened there is, and he got a bit snippy, didn't he, when people were saying, how much better the new front line was. And he was like, can we have a bit of respect for the people who won the league, please? I think Luis Diaz was a great player. Again, I am enjoying watching him play. I think Darwin Nunez, and this is something I keep saying on Deluded's channel as well, which is like, I don't give a shit if Gyökeres scores 15, 20, 10, 5, 6. I don't care how many goals he scores. If at the end of the season he's holding up the trophy, fantastic. That's what he's here for. Every player on the pitch is playing a part. I thought he looked like he was snatching at chances, but he's getting more shots on target. That's progress. I'm a little bit pissed off that I'm doing all this defending of Victor Gyökeres when I didn't want him. But I do now. Now he's an Arsenal player. He's dumped his girlfriend to come and play for Arsenal. Fair play, man. He's one of ours. I'll cheer him on. I'd love it if he'd put a hat-trick in, but he's not Erling Haaland. I think we can all agree on that. Doesn't mean, Alan Smith wasn't Erling Haaland. Sometimes you need to play. His stronger physical hold-up play is a lot better, or is definitely getting better. Maybe he can get coached in doing some of the things he doesn't do well. But as long as he keeps shooting, I don't care. I think Victor Gyökeres is there for that. But to come back to your point, which I think is really great, how bad did they miss Trent? I think if you're in that Liverpool team, maybe Mo Salah, what I feel like, I'd love to hear what you guys think. I feel like Mo Salah, especially you, Jordan, I feel like Mo Salah is missing the dynamic of the team around him. I think it's difficult. I don't think the Liverpool team, I know that they started Florian Wirtz on the bench and it was a little bit controversial. They started Alexander Isak for this game when Ekitike was probably most people's expected starter. You can say all you like that Isak hasn't had a preseason, but then don't start him and don't play him for 90 minutes. It's just a weird one. He doesn't look at the races yet. Florian Wirtz is taking his sweet time to adjust. Cody Gakpo looks as good as he did, but the midfield looks a little bit more disjointed. I think what's happening is Mo Salah is missing Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think that the team probably are missing one or two players, and I think, not to make excuses for Liverpool, I'm not trying to do that, but come on, man, the way they lost Diogo Jota, if that's affecting Mo Salah, I think Mo Salah's dealing with things. I still think they will come good, and boy, when that team comes good, they've got firepower. One could argue that the Liverpool team was built around Trent in the end. It's a really strong point. I don't know, though. I don't necessarily think that I don't necessarily feel that way, but I'm delighted to have that conversation. Get on here and talk me through it. Saka's penalty was a pen. Knees touched Saka first. I think so. VAR is so rubbish. Agreed, Adam. Liverpool can't cope. If that tackle on Saka had been anywhere else on the pitch, it would have been a foul. That's a very fair point. I think that's exactly right. But if we're not going to get 50-50s, it's okay, because the refs, VAR, opposing fans, pundits, whoever it may be, cannot give our opposition a shot on goal. They can't just manufacture it for them. So everyone do all the chatting they want off the pitch. Saka said on Sky interview that he felt free knee contact from Kevin before he got the ball. I think you can see it. I think there are angles where it's not clear, but I think if you take, apart from anything, this whole thing about touching the ball, it shouldn't be a get out of jail free card. Like, you still aren't supposed to stack your man either. To me, in real time, I was surprised they gave us a penalty because it didn't look like it was in the area. It clearly was in the area on replay, and on replay, it looked, the first time I saw it, I thought, no, it's going to be this again. It's going to be another Pope. Doesn't matter. Look, I think the difference this season and last season is that these decisions that are going against us are not costing us the points they were last season. So let it happen. Let it happen in games we win anyway, yeah? No, it was a pen. Many pundits also said about the knee connected with Saka's knees first, meaning penalty, the cheeky feckers. Yeah, okay. It's not the first time that we've had decisions go against us, but it might be one of the first times where this season when they go against us, doesn't really make any difference. We still beat Newcastle, we still beat Fulham, and I'm not overlooking the fact that there have been one or two decisions, particularly in that Newcastle game. They obviously felt they should have a penalty, but it didn't. Glad you won, though. Sean Dyche, is he announced? Is that already the case? Bloody hell! They need Ten Hag. I mean, yeah, what I'm talking about. This is a season of short tenures, isn't it? Eric Ten Hag obviously would still had fewer games. I think he had 3 games, and I think one of them is a preseason friendly. Liverpool massively missing Diaz, I think, anyway. If it was the other way around, the ref would have given. I think there is something we have to. When you get called to the screen. Now, what was the game? Was it today? Was it a game today or yesterday where the ref got called to the screen for a second yellow card? I think it was the Palace game, and he stayed with his decision, which is so rare. I can't remember it ever happening before. So when he's given a penalty and a VAR say, "Come and look at it," if that's at the Emirates, you think, well, there's a half a chance here he doesn't want to get the fans on his back. But when it's at Craven Cottage, he's so obviously going to overturn it. Are we giving Gyok the service he deserves? Yeah, well, I think we're all learning to play together. I think that his shots per game's gone up. It just doesn't look quite there yet. And I'm hoping he comes good, but I'm not nearly as bothered about it as a lot of people seem to be. He is an £120 million player, right? So if it doesn't come good, it's sort of Kai Havertz spending, isn't it? It's we can find a use. He's going to play. I just think that it's funny now as an Arsenal fan, you always have to have one idea of what your own fans are going to say. People are going to go, "This Arteta's a clown. He's going to drop Eze." I've been listening to people before the match against Fulham. Mate, no way he's playing Eze. No way he's playing Eze. And then the next day after he's played Eze and Eze didn't play well, he goes, "Oh, he surprised me." So because you don't know. We've all got to stop acting like we know and then being made aware of the fact we don't know. Twice it's not been clear and obvious, yet we still didn't get a pen. Madness, I tells you. Madness! In this case, we didn't want the pen, did we? Didn't need it. That Leno save was a tight angle. His next shot from a decent turn with the ball at his feet. Yeah. Listen, I like it that he's taking shots. That's how I feel about Victor Gyökeres. I think he'll get goals. I think the reality of it is also that here's something. It's probably more about. I thought Trossard played well, if I'm honest, which I am. That Trossard played well, and sort of. I thought Saka was occupied, but he wasn't. It didn't seem to be double marked. I think Sessegnon had an absolute stinker against him, and I thought Cuenca was pulled over towards him, but that left a little bit more space. I thought for much of the game, Trossard was really disappointing. That's it, though. The only thing that bothers me a little bit about Gyökeres is that we're not getting him the ball. So that is to the question you made. Are we giving Gyökeres enough service? I'd like him to just stay up there more. That's all. I'd like him to stay higher at the pitch. As soon as it happened, Arteta regrouped the squad and told everyone to calm down. We still managed to win without the VAR. I think that was a really important thing. I think his calming temperament. I still think he jumps around too much, but not quite as much as today. And I do just want to. I'm going to keep going on about this because the celebration police. They can't wait to tell us we've over-celebrated. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a celebration police investigation into one Tom.
Absolute beauty. Dancing in the rain, Thomas Frank. We've seen that sort.
It's worth remembering, they lost that game. That's over-celebrating. When you're celebrating like crazy because you're 1-0 up against Villa. Jose's here, thank goodness. Greetings, Toto. Jose, really good to see you. After talks in the last 24, Roberto Mancini won't become a new. Did anyone think he was going to be? I didn't see that one happening. Idris Adam. Nottingham Forest is having problems. I think are having problems. He's not settled yet. He will take time. One of his confidence is a bit of a shook. We'll shake it off. It's not inconceivable that we're talking about Victor Gyökeres might never make it, might never be the superstar striker that we wanted. There were a lot of people before we signed him saying I'd rather have Šeško. Actually, at this point, it looks like both wrong. Should have been talking about Voltemade or Ekitike. Ekitike, you and I know. Evening all, have a lovely day of football today. Lovely is the word. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Tottenham go 1-0 up. Start thinking, oh, shit. Only to go 2-1 down. How very Spursy. Very Spursy. And of course, the over celebration of Thomas Frank Genjin. I didn't see his post-match interview. Perhaps we'll have a look at that later. Excuse me. With Gyökeres, we've only started the season. He's doing better than the other big name signings from the other clubs. He is, but shall we not jump about too much? Because he's not doing that much better. And if all our hopes were on him, Fairs, then it would be a little bit disappointing. I like to point out that we have scored the second highest number of goals. Oh, actually, sorry, my bad. Chelsea scored more goals. We're the third highest goal scorers in the league. So it's not bad. We're probably not short of goals. Would an extra couple of goals have made a difference? Yeah, if you'd scored 2 extra goals in the Liverpool game, then we'd now be 7 points clear. We are 3 points clear of Manchester City after only 8 games played. Are you worried about Man City though? See, the thing is, for me, it's the same thing. Chelsea have lost 2, Tottenham have lost 2, Sunderland have lost 2, Man City have lost 2. I don't think that's really Champions-y. Look at me reinventing the language. Trossard for me was mediocre, as was Eze, but we still won, so not bothered now. And Liverpool losing made it so much sweeter, absolutely. It felt like Dare to Dream, didn't it? Dubious celebrations indeed. I don't think we were that great, to be honest. It was a smash and grab game, but if we win by playing poorly, so be it. Don't care. I honestly don't care. I'm George Graham era, mate. I watched us. I'd like to do a side-by-side. In fact, I will do that for tomorrow night's show. I'd like to do just show people what it's like to be, because I've been on some streams. I've just about had the energy to type, but I've been on some streams where people have been saying, we don't look good. It's like, what did you think 1989 felt like? We weren't slapping teams up 4-5-0 every weekend, 3-0. No, it was a George Graham side. And we lost some games as well. And it is tough. I think the one thing that's really changed since the George Graham era is the fans. Fans, like Yardman, seem to expect that winning the league is all about winning every game 3-0 and being electric and looking like the best team in the country. It's a really difficult league to win. Even if we win it, I don't think we're going to run away with it. I'd love us to, but I don't think we're going to run away with it. IBX. So, Canterbury Gooners says, Gyök and Isak struggling for Sweden as well. The manager sacked. Yeah, I saw that. There's a chance, isn't there, that Graham Potter might go back to Sweden. We won ugly, simple as that, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine over. I don't understand. Do you know what, Cole? Well said. I agree with you. You knew I would do. Why do we have to say that? Who are these people out there that don't understand it? It's the same people, by the way. They're always bitching when we play really well and don't win. We have fantastic games. We play really well and don't win, and they're like, Nafe's here. Trossard again. Ole, ole. Trossard again. Great to see you. I'm taking it you were at the match. What's that say? You've made that big enough for me to read now. I still can't read it. But Super Mick Arteta. I wanted Osimhen. What is up with... Yeah, I think we all did, but 400 grand a week's a lot, bruv. We probably wouldn't have been able to sign Zubimendi and Osimhen. On Liverpool being built around Trent, they could have less creative centre-backs because Trent provided creativity and flair. Could also have a more workman-like midfield with Trent in the team. Okay, I'm giving that a thought. I think McAllister, Gravenberch and Zoboslai aren't necessarily not creative. Florian Wirtz I went out and got, and you'd think he's every bit as creative as Terence. What did I call him? Terence. I'm thinking of Terence Trent D'Arby. That always happens to me. I've got COVID. I think they're missing players. I think the dynamics changed. I think the dressing room's changed. They've had a lot to deal with. It's hard retaining the league. Liverpool have not retained the league in over 40 years. Arsenal have not retained the league in over 90 years. So we all know it's difficult. No, you cheeky little fecker. How are you, legend? Set piece again. Yeah, I just, you know what, I don't get it. I don't get why the kind of deep diving analytical bullshit you have to do to hate Arsenal. But they score their goals from corners. Okay. All right. That's okay. That's a way you can score goals. Stop us. Stop. Oh yeah, he's a good boxer, but he always throws a very heavy uppercut. Yeah, it's a way of knocking someone out. Look, why wouldn't we try and score from corners? As far as I know, everyone does. They're just not very good at it. Training ground. That's what you want to do. And also, being good at corners and scoring goals from corners is not the reason that these teams are not getting a single. I mean, Fulham at home, I know they've had a bad run of games, but they've been right at home. I think we were the first team that beat them at home, aren't we? They dispatched some mighty Bristol City. It was right to sign Wirtz, but a traditional RB should have been. Listen, I agree with you, Boy 10D. I did a whole video about it. I said, look, I didn't understand how they weren't buying a right back because Frimpong's not a traditional right back, and I understand if you're replacing Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it's kind of looking like it was a mistake. Maybe after one particular big engine to give Salah license to stay up front. I also think Salah. He's got this is the other thing that will really trouble Liverpool. It might come as a blessing, but we have no players going to AFCON, and Liverpool have Mo Salah, and we're seeing what happens to Liverpool when Mo Salah isn't quite at the races. He just wasn't there today. We're also the only team who have. Don't know what that means. That's right. We have Timber, so that mythical Oboy isn't on the market. It's not my baby. Do you know what? I love to hear a commentator today saying that arguably Jurriën Timber is probably the best right back in the country. And if you disagree, let me know, because I'd love to know who else is in contention for that. He is head and shoulders. I mean, the only one I can think of is Ben White. Honestly, if any other right backs out there, can you tell me who you really rate as a right back? We're also the only ones who have conceded fewer, not less. The wall is doing its job. Ridiculous. I mean, considering people are starting talking about it now. If we score 3 goals in 8 games, then it looks like we'd only score 14.5 in a season if it carries on as it is. Not saying it will. I know we'll concede a few, but it's an awesome defensive record. I mean, Golden Gloves almost nailed on for tempt fate. All gravy, mate. We were looking good. It's just not Wenger ball. I agree. I do also just want to praise Aston Villa for their second goal today, because Buendia, I mean, there is some football magic in that goal. Just an absolutely beautiful goal. Real sucker punch to Tottenham. I am surprised that Tottenham aren't doing slightly better. I know they're really not finding their form yet either. I could happily take 30 more boring 1-0s if that wins the league. I'm with you, Canterbury. I am with you. I don't care at how we do it. And then next season, let's complain that we want to see glorious football, right? Did you see the League Gunner stream yesterday? I'm sorry, life's too short. I've really been having trouble sleeping over the last week. And at times I look for live streams, and I found his once or twice. Every time I listen to League Gunner, he's talking about women, young women at that, and I don't know, life and selling houses, and I just think, what? I did see a clip of Lee Gunner though, which I'll play for you. I shit you not, he was actually saying I could take a shit live on air and 600 or 700 people would say it was the best shit they've ever seen. Slightly narcissistic tendencies there. Just saying, someone who actually thinks they could shit on live stream and people think it was the best shit they've ever seen. I wonder what his technique is. I don't wonder enough to want to see it, though. When a fully grown man calls himself yard man, then enough said, really. Does he just stand in the yard moaning or what? No, that's not the connotations of that. Right, so, hey, everyone. True, this wasn't the most scintillating game, but it was professional. And after an international break, where most of our players played a lot of minutes, this was always going to be tricky. Hooded ex-freak. Fucking well said. I don't really have a lot of time for people who want to bitch about us being 4 points or 3 points clear at the top of the league. I keep saying 4 points clear. We're 4 points clear of Liverpool. I did not see that being my predictions are wildly off. We're 7 points better off than I expected after 8 games. How you get there doesn't matter to me. I've got a question for you. Can I just put this out there? This is a question I would love to ask some of the gloomier Arsenal fans, right? Some of the really whingy, mopey, miserable bastard Arsenal fans. If I could offer you a deal, a magic deal, that is the Arsenal win the league, but you're not allowed to watch any of the matches live or recorded. For one season, you don't get to watch it, but I guarantee we win the league. Would you take that deal? I think the odd man would. I'm just saying it was Klopp built for when Slot came in, he saw things differently. Now we see his vision play out. Maybe it comes good later. I just think it's, Arsene Wenger always used to say didn't like to bring in more than 5 players at a time because you've got a 25-man squad. You're changing everything. They have a lot of change. I think the main factors I would identify as are Liverpool's key problems this season are massive turnover in squad, people left who were probably more important than anyone realised. They had the Diogo Jota incident that is going to have taken the wind out of everyone's sails. But a not to be underestimated factor is, look, honestly, it's really hard to retain a title. It's really hard to retain a title. We've never done it. We haven't done it since the 30s. And Liverpool haven't done it since the 80s. It's tough to get yourself going again. That's why the achievement of Man City is so spectacular for me. It feels silly. I know there were people saying, would you rather go invincible or win 4 in a row? I can't be the only Arsenal fan. I'd rather win 4 in a row, honestly. Would I rather do 100 points or invincible? I'd probably go invincible. But, I'd like us to retain a title. If we win it this year, I've heard some of these people saying, if Arteta wins it this year, I still won't be happy. But if he wins it 2 years in a row, I'll start thinking, you're doing quite well. Brilliant. I bet he loses sleep worrying about what these pricks want to give him his flowers or not. Set piece are part of the game. It's in the rules, not our fault. We mastered it. Melts. True. Don't think anyone can disagree with that. Broke my heart seeing Rowe putting on the Fulham shirt. Love that guy. Breaks my heart, but it also makes me realise every time, he didn't start for them. He didn't really make a big difference. He looked decent, but did we do the right thing in letting him go? Would he be in this squad now? Did I just hear Bristol City we'd be Norwich City 1-0? Get in. No, I was talking about how Fulham managed to beat Bristol City at home. Remember how people moaned about our set pieces being poor in the late? Yes, mate, it wasn't even just under... I remember where I was. I was walking up the high street and we just had a game with 21 corners. And I was thinking, what is the point of corners? It was 2019-20, I think, or 2021. I was thinking, we get corners. We just don't do anything with them. And now we do. I loved hearing Saka interviewed after the game when they said to him, did you think you took bad corners to start game? He goes, didn't you see him? It's well said, that lad. Sean Dyche emerging as leading contender. Yes, that's not news. Everyone knows that. That Beckham bloke is all right, but he does score a lot of free kicks. Yeah, it's when everyone wanted us to sign Ivan Toney, and I was like, most of his, he gets a third of his goals every season from penalties. We don't need that. Thank you, Idris Adam. Expecting Ben White will be back on Tuesday for some shithousery against Simeone. I'm not worried about it. What a fantastic win that would be, though. Seriously. Lee Gunner is slowly losing his mind. I prefer to stay away. It feels really horrible. It feels like the thing about YouTube is that it attracts emotions. You watch emotion. You watch things that are kind of macabre or men having breakdowns. Northside sitting on a bench in Harrow talking about how the woman broke his heart, and you're thinking, I prefer listening to him to talk about his life in meltdown than how much he hates various elements of the Arsenal fan base. But I do kind of feel for him. I feel like he's a young guy. He seems like a smart guy, and I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him suffering. I just would rather he didn't put it on YouTube. Watching Lee Gunner ever since he went in that well over the top on Mr. DT, he's been toxic. You don't see him invited on the same shows. His audience is declining. He's drinking more heavily. He split up with his girlfriend. There is this thing of rubbernecking. It feels a little bit like when people come on YouTube, they just doom scroll and they look for these moments of beef and intrigue, people shouting at each other, popcorn moments, rage, meltdown, all of that. But it's not a sort of destination. It's not what you come on here for. So for me, the Adam's Arms, if I do end up, God help me, I'd be a mess. But if my romantic life fell apart like theirs, please God, don't let it happen. I would just. But if I was ever in that awful situation, I just hope I wouldn't be doing it on YouTube, because it's not the people that love you and want to put an arm around you to go on there. I'd hope one or two of you would help me pull the plug on this until I was back and better, and maybe one or two of you would look after it in my absence. I'm not manifesting that, by the way, as a new age person. So when is Dan going to smoke his cigar on the show? Definitely ain't going to be tonight. Definitely ain't going to be tonight. But Christmas time. We're going to do some fucking brilliant content over Christmas. I'm really looking to this Christmas pub. It's going to be great. I might even have a tree up. You never know. When players win something, it's hard to get up for it again. Look at City. They won. Look at the trash following season. Now they won it again like Haaland woke up. Yeah, but I don't think Haaland's going to be enough for them. It's a bit daft thinking Arteta is up for sacking if he wins the league. I know. The whole thing's a bit daft, though. But they double down instead of... Because you never hear somebody who is... there's people I'm thinking about. I'm not going to name them because they're dickheads. But, the ones that sort of sit there and go, I don't back this manager even if he wins the Champions League. And you go, well, then you're a bellend. Because... as far as I know, any manager who wins us the Champions League is a hero, right? That's that. You can still prefer Arsene Wenger. I'll forgive you if you still prefer George Graham. Bertie me if you're old enough. But for me, the minute somebody managing Arsenal wins the Champions League, their job is safe. She Knows Arsenal did a nice little vid about Martinelli as a striker. Still think he should be an option if Gyok needs a rest. I did think that he might come on for him against Fulham. I'm all for it. I would have a look at it. I would definitely have a look at it. Didn't he? I don't know because I did not watch. I think it should be obvious. I didn't watch Brazil, Japan. I'm pretty sure they played Japan, but I do know that. Well, I think I know they lost, but I'm talking out of my hat now. But did Gabriel Martinelli score? But they lost. Let me just look into it because I don't like saying shit that's not. Yes, they did indeed lose, and he did indeed score. What? Do you remember when Brazil were like the gold standard of footballers? But he did score. Now, where did he play in that game? I'm just going to have a quick look. He was on the left. So Martinelli, I don't know. Listen, I'd give it a go. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not dead set against it. I know he doesn't really want to play as a striker, but he's finished. I mean, let's finish against Donnarumma. You'd want to try it, wouldn't it? Teams got comfortable conceding corners to us towards the end of the Wenger years because we were impotent at corners. That remained until Arteta finally decided to turn it into a weapon. But that wasn't in the first 2 years of his tenure. Nicola Hover. No one wants to concede corners to us, and yet they do. And oh my God, they do. We score corners, but we do take a lot of them as well, Just looking at the Fulham game, I counted this. We had 10 corners. So we're scoring 1 in 10. Which I think is a fair ratio. Where is Rosie tonight? Good question, Idris. I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just answering. It looks risky inviting Lee Gunner onto a show. Has to force his Arsenal Arteta psychosis on everyone present. Turns it into a flame war if people don't accept his views. It's more than that, though, at the moment. It's also that he's having a meltdown. He talks over people. He's in full narcissistic decline. It is a really painful time. I don't know him, so I don't wish him any ill. I find him really irritating. But I've started to find it really sad that this sort of thing can happen on YouTube. But let's put it this way. No one would get in their car and drive to see a car accident. So nobody's, driven to watch his channel. The views are declining. Also, I saw Jez and Shane talking about how YouTube has an agenda to force the smaller channels out. No, it doesn't. I can promise you that's not the case. YouTube does not care if you're a small channel or a large channel. The advertising revenue that you get is the same. If anything, all YouTube cares about, which is why likes and subscribes and all those things aren't really relevant. All that matters to YouTube is how long do people watch your channel for. And if you've got people watching for a long time, you'll get a good fair amount of revenue. My goodness, I've just noticed we've had 2 people from Zuckerberg land give us a thumbs up. And I just want to say, Luca is one of them. Hear me now. Sorry, hear me out. Hear me out, which is a new section I'm doing this week. Will be on tomorrow night's show called the Hear Me Out, where I want everyone to let me know their wackiest football view, the opinion they have that no one's going to agree with. And Jason Blackshaw, thank you both from YouTube to Zuckerberg's very own Facebook. Thanks for giving us a likes. And if you haven't yet, do hit like on YouTube as well. It's just for my vanity. I had a recommendation from one of those watch-alongs, absolutely pathetic reaction to goals. He can't even hide it. Meanwhile, in the away end, limbs hugging random grown men, utter jubilation. That's what I love, man. That is what I love. Listen, I watched those Man United fans today, and they're not going to win the league, and it ain't going to matter. But they knew how to celebrate going to Anfield and getting a win. If you like Dave, if you've been at Craven Cottage the last 2 seasons, you are celebrating today, whether you think it's going to win us a league or not. You might have celebrated a little less excitedly if we'd already lost the league. I can understand that. But the full joy of football, when Sunderland score, their fans celebrate. It's not because they think they're going to win the league. It's because that's the whole point of football. It's an event that happens far too rarely. See you tomorrow or Tuesday. I am here tomorrow and Tuesday. I hope to see you then. And just Dan, thanks for being here. I would send you one of my tasty packs, Dan. That'll soon sort you out. Maybe really would. Oh, dear. We'll have to get you here for a Christmas show. You know that. Let's do a Christmas watch along. Rosie probably baking something. Hope so. Dan having a tree up for Christmas. He'll have to remove the Pritt stick. That goes all the way back, that joke. Tree as well, Dan. Please don't put it up on a work. On a wonk, sorry. I will, I will, just for you. I'm going to have it leaning tree of fucking Gooner. Headed ex-freak. Martinelli does far too much defensive work on the wing. I doubt Arteta moves him centrally as we would lose that aspect of his game. Good point. That's a really good point. And it's really frustrating on one level as well. I do sometimes wish that Arteta could just... But then teams don't get shot against us, and it is down to the structure of the team, so I'm not going to complain. Brazil are so 19th century, lol. England is a new breed. Okay, I'm just guessing. I'm guessing, lol. Phone always corrects Martinelli to be full cabs. Does it? Respect your phone, mate. Jamaica in the World Cup. That's good. That is really good. Never once felt threatened by Fulham, even stoppage time. I didn't either. None of them panicked. All very calm and collected. What a team. I love it. I just love it. I saw Villa were doing far too much fanning about trying to play the ball, little neat ones and twos, but sometimes just lump it up the pitch. But I feel like we get that right. I feel like, I think we all know that Arsenal are secure. We're going to concede goals. Of course, we'll probably concede more than one in a game soon. Atletico Madrid, it's not going to be an easy game. They were so hard done by last season. There should have been an Arsenal Atletico Madrid quarterfinal, shouldn't it? Brian Back, big up. Well done for being here. So glad to have you. Lucky Singh, yes. I was so glad you're here. How does it feel? It must feel fucking brilliant. Glazer's out, fan here. How you doing? I'm doing good, but I think we're both doing good, aren't we? My wackiest football view is that football fans don't know how to grade players, and they have world-class and elite mixed up, and these use words incorrectly in 90% usage cases. I agree. I think the problem of most disagreements are problems of language, and I would say world-class for me would be if you put a squad together of 25 people and you could get into it. Maybe there's 2 squads. Maybe it's the top 50 players. Elite could be anyone in the Premier Division, though, because that's an elite footballer. But also, Boy-Tendia, I don't know about you, but I think it's also odious, these silly, my player's better than your player. How many years have we dealt with? Is Saka better than Foden? And then is Saka better than Cole Pot? And then now is Saka as good as Salah? And then it's like, look, doesn't matter. He's Saka. We're not selling him. We want him. He's brilliant. He's ours. Piss off. Glazes out. Fan here. How are you doing? And Rosie is not here, I don't think. Unless I'm missing something. Started a new series today, Paradise. It's decent. I'd give it a look. I'm still trying to get through Apothecary. United. Good evening, Lucky. Don't know why I've given you that voice. What happened to Mr. Tom? Leeds better not have killed his spirit. Well, he was on Gary's show yesterday. Him and Sam, haven't seen him in a while. Maybe they watch after. I don't know. Don't think I've upset them. Maybe it's something you said. Let's see if... this is not, by the way, I'm not... I say this. I have to mean it sometimes. I cannot be doing this show till 3 a.m. tonight because I do have to get some sleep and all the medication's going to wear off. But if you want to jump on and have your say, you're more than welcome. Lucky if you feel like it. Too great to be back with be back. Been a while since I found the channel. Yeah. I mean, do you know what? When I started off tonight, I thought, I hope he's here because don't get a lot of on Streamline. What is Streamline? and everyone's giving hey Melina and hello whatnot. So I honestly did not anticipate that we would be seeing a victory for Man United today, but it did happen. Let's see if Zanzi, did you predict it? Was it something you'd anticipated?
Didn't predict it, just hoped it, because I thought, Liverpool's defence is a bit. But anyway, glow up, Dan. There you are. That's my saying today. Glow up.
Glow up. I hope it's
Glow.
not really.
Glow.
What does that mean?
It means legendary.
Right.
Apparently.
Well, don't just say legendary, because then it's the same language and everything, but I know what you're saying then.
I don't know. It's what they used to, I think.
Well, we try not to let them in, We try and we do everything we can to not have them on here. And now you're sort of encouraging them with your mandemics. What was your highlight of the weekend? I know what it was.
Well, highlight, of course, beating Fulham. Second highlight was Man United actually winning. And the third one was Tottenham losing.
It is a joyous day when your main. I mean, I don't know. Look, the naivety, isn't it? I went into the season just anticipate, like at the start of last season, I just expected that our main title rivals would be Manchester City, and then they started the season really badly, but were taking loads of points. And then Liverpool kind of started winning, and they didn't really slip up for the whole season. So towards the end, they started looking a bit tired, but we were more tired. Is the same thing going to happen this season? Have we gone into it this season thinking Liverpool are our rivals, only to discover that it'll actually be Man City?
I don't know. I mean, last season we were probably tired, but there again, we couldn't change the squad because we didn't have the squad to change. Now we've got basically two teams, and they're almost as good as each other.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I think they are almost as good as each other. I think Saka is miles ahead of any of our other players. I think after the weekend, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was just someone talking about, like, when you think of our team, and if you think who's our world-class player, there are lots of players who might have shown glimpses. I think William Saliba and Gabriel could be. Julian Timber's in with a shout. But the one player consistently always, got a game by the scruff of the neck yesterday was Bukayo Saka. So I think if we lose him, as we did last season, it's really hard to find. Noni Madueke is not a good replacement for Saka. He might look the part from time to time, but he's not. But in terms of everyone else, Odegaard's out and we're still winning. I think we will still see good performances from... I'm surprised by Wanyeri. Are you surprised we haven't seen Wanyeri? He didn't get any minutes at all?
Yes and no.
That's kind of both bases covered there, I think.
Yeah. I thought maybe like last 10 minutes he would have probably taken Eze off and put on Wanyeri.
I was surprised he didn't get any time at all. I think it would have been... Mind you, it's one of those where Arteta's not exactly brave when we're only 1-0 up. But I thought Eze was not his best game. I don't know why. You can put it down to a few things. Maybe it's playing more on the right. I don't know.
Yeah, but the one thing about Arsenal at the moment is that we have a team of Arsenal fans playing for us.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, my highlight, I've just remembered it. Calafiori's goal.
Oh, the offside one.
Oh, why is that got to be offside? Like, that was such a good goal. I hate to see it. You can't make allowances. He was offside. It wasn't even close. But it's just like, there should be like I don't know. There should be like a conceit to the fact that a goal can be so good that you just go, no, that's one side. Fuck it.
It's funny, actually. Look, normally when an offside goal goes in, it's so close, I'll always cheer. As soon as he's scored it, though, I didn't. I just sat there and watched it, and I thought, he's offside.
Yeah, I didn't celebrate it wildly either, but it was such a nice goal.
Sweet, wasn't it?
I mean, taken so well. You do wonder maybe play him instead of Gyökeres. Maybe Gyökeres can be our new left back. Although you can't really call Calafiori a left back because I don't know how much of the game he was actually anywhere near left back. He was everywhere. I thought he looked really good, and I haven't been sure of him, but I'm slowly coming around to Calafiori.
Yeah, I mean, he's not only really coming on well, but he's like a fucking Milan catwalk model, strolling all over the bloody pitch.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that, but I like the fact that his goals that he does score. I mean, I'm counting that one. That will go down in my memory as a goal. But usually the goals he does score are usually nice, aren't they? Not as nice as Nick Voltemard's, which I think might be goal of the month so far. I'm glad we have Saka too fresh. I'm not expecting Arteta to play Ranieri when games are tight. I think that's going to frustrate a lot of people. Manager gets to decide, though, don't they? Ranieri will probably start against Brighton in the Cup. I really hope so. Lucky Singh says all we care about is Lamins. Oh, Lamins, I thought had really good games. Maguire, like Cunha, Mason Mount. I didn't see much from. Patrick Dorgu embraced pressure. I was a Man United fan for the evening, and yep, loved it. Brian Burke, do you think we can get over the line? Yes, I do. Yeah, I really do. I think we've been that close to getting over the line. You know, with 2 points off it 2 seasons ago. There were reasons. I know no one likes us to have excuses, but I could understand why we didn't do well last season. I feel like we went out and we've improved our squad dramatically. We've done everything that we needed to do. And yeah, no, I definitely think we can get over the line. I fully believe. I'm 100% believer. I think if we hadn't lost to Liverpool, the only team I fear at the moment is Man City, and they can hurt anyone. But I don't think Man City know what their best team is yet either. You know, I watched their game, and Haaland is impeccable. What if Haaland was injured for Man City? What then?
Yeah, if he's out the team,
yeah,
who they got to actually score goals?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? I mean, like at the moment, I think I know Turkey's only just coming back from injury. He got some minutes. Foden played well, but was nothing special. Doku, good, no end product. Savinho got an assist at least. But when I look at the back four, I don't think they look anything like as solid as us. And Donnarumma in goal is always arguably the best keeper in the business. But they beat Everton 2-0. It could easily have been 1-1 that game. I thought if Everton had taken their chances earlier, at least one of them. But yeah, Brian, do you think we can get over the line? Zanzi, do you think we can get over the line?
Yeah, well, yeah, we can. Whether we will or not is going to be a different matter because, I mean, there's still, only 8 games left, 30 to play. So,
yep. That was such a picture of goal. Such a shame it was offside, 100%. We got a right-footed 11 and a left-footed 11. Yeah. We've got, we've got depth. When you look at the players, Jesus and Havertz still to come back. That gives us options. That's all we was asking for from our side. Plan, trap, best teams league. I just think Man United showed some character today, and I haven't seen that from them in years. Arsenal will win the league this season. I believe. Liverpool, Arsenal are best teams in the league. I don't know. I think Liverpool have probably, if it gets any further now, they lose 1 or 2 more, it's over, and everyone knows it. If they win 2 more, if they lose 2 more games, if they lose away to City, which is a game they've got coming up, and they've lost 4 games in the first 12, it's hard to put money on them then, isn't it? I should caveat the Saka comment by saying, assuming Madueke is fit, we can survive a month without Saka, assuming Madueke is fit. Survive, definitely. Definitely.
I wonder if Liverpool are going to have a little collapse like they did with Klopp's last year.
Say that again, sorry?
I wonder if Liverpool are going to have a collapse like they did with Klopp's last year.
I
because they started off the season really well and then just
3 or 3
imploded.
something like that. Yeah, I mean the injuries caught up with him. The thing with Klopp is that he had to do that at Dortmund as well. It gets to a point with his teams where it's like he's worked them to death. You know, you saw the impact Arne Slot had in just allowing Mo Salah to not track back and get involved so much. But that isn't how Klopp would have done it. And so for last season, we saw arguably the best of Mo Salah, even in advancing years. This season, though, it feels like he's struggling to get into gear. A lot of the things have moved around him and changed. I don't feel like he is mentally right. And a part of that might be Diogo Jota. It might be that his whole team around him changed. He's not maybe the big name on campus anymore. I think what was really revealing was Virgil van Dijk just gets so angry with people on the pitch when anything goes wrong. And I think the first goal, all right, fair enough, McAllister had a head injury. But, I mean, it was caused by Virgil van Dijk. And Virgil van Dijk just sort of designates somebody to do his defending. And it's like, I think when you've renewed the contracts of 2 of the 3 of them, not Trent, but Salah and Virgil van Dijk, is that starting to look like it might have been a little bit premature? Maybe. Zanzi, I've been to your bar on holiday.
Yeah, apparently there is a place called Zanzibar.
Well,
a bar, no, not the island, but there is a Zanzibar club. I think there's one in Nottingham or something like that.
Probably one in Cardiff, Swansea, something like that. We ask ourselves before we get a pitch, we give everything, and it felt like they did today. It really did feel like. And Cunha loves playing. I love to watch him playing well. He was really playing well today. Madueke has Saka's industry and some trickery, but no real end product to work with. But he always looks dangerous, so he has to be defended by someone. That's it. I mean, he does. I don't think we're going out and buying Keenan Yildiz. I don't think we're going to get any of those players on the left. But if we did, then a Madueke, mind you, Madueke could be the guy. You know, stick him on the left. They've got to occupy him. I think you are noticing this season that particularly with Eze, had to be covered to some degree. And he was nullified in the game against Fulham. But it did give Saka more room to manoeuvre on that right-hand side.
Yeah. I heard a rumour that January, one of the Brazilian teams, the one of buying Jesus, which could leave us open to possibly buying so-and-so from Bournemouth.
Oh, Semenyo,
yeah.
I'd love that. I would love that. I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm hugely jaded by the transfer market. I think we had a fantastic transfer window. I'm out of the habit now of trying to decide who's going to win the transfer window. My conclusion at the end of the transfer window summer this year was we will not know who has had the best transfer window until the end of the season, because Liverpool, without a question, in most people's opinions, won the transfer window. The season before, they indubitably lost it because they didn't buy anyone. The season they lost it, they won the league. And the season they won the transfer window, looks like they're not going to win the league. So it depends what you want more. If you just want all the players you ever wanted, then a transfer window is important. I don't know if Semenyo in January takes us over the line. I know that we had this conversation last week and Reyes came up in conversation. And arguably, he's the one who did make a difference. But if we're 5 or 6 points clear in January, do we need Semenyo? Do we need to bring in another player? It really comes down to who's injured and who isn't. My reluctance to believe the hype around Gabby Jesus being sold in January is, do people really want to sign a player who's been out for a whole year? What kind of money would we get for him? Would they pay his wages? He's on good money. I'm having a really hard time believing it, but I know that I'm reticent to talk about transfer windows. It is still a couple of months away, and we have got Christmas before then. So let's maybe just do that. Let's get through Christmas. All I want for Christmas is Semenyo. I'm really happy with the squad as it is. You could still improve it. For me, it could still be improved. And we all know that we're missing, a left winger. But come the end of December, I could see a lot of Arsenal fans going on about how, we need to replace Gyökeres. He's not good enough. I told you he wouldn't be. That's how it works these days, isn't it? Miss Molina, I very rarely disagree with you. Miss Molina saying Timber is the best right back in the league. Let me know if anyone disagrees. I honestly can't think of a single right back that I'd put ahead of him. I mean, there's a couple. There's a couple in world football, but there isn't more than 3 or 4. I think he is elite, bordering on world class. Not convinced by City at all. They're a good team, but they're not as sharp as previous seasons, and they don't know who their first 11 is. That's the only thing. There are players at Man City at the moment who just are not quite finding their form. Maybe I'm not talking so much about Foden. Maybe he's doing all right. Rodri's injury is a problem for any team. Omar Mamouche, injury problems. Tijani Reinders, I thought we'd see better from him, honestly. Aiden Yuri obviously injured. Oscar, but they've had their injury problems. Let's give them that. But Kuzanov, there's a lot of players at City that are just not quite as good as City have had before, and that's going to hurt them. Not bad, thank you, Lucky and you, says Miss Molina. Agreed, I fear City too. Donnarumma makes a huge difference for them. Yes, he does. But I'm not sure, you know. Why did Luis Enrique let him go? He's a total mercenary from his Milan days. I don't know very much about it, but there's something going on there. And he's definitely not as good with the ball at his feet as Edison. Haaland scares the hell out of me. He is Frankenstein's monster, isn't he? Let's be honest. Hey, Zanzibar in Tanzania. Tanzania, sorry. Always do that. Cracks appearing in Liverpool's team. I feel it's not over yet for them. The chemistry just doesn't seem right since new players. If fresh, I'm not disagreeing with you, actually. But if we're saying that it's the middle of October, near the end of October, and it hasn't started clicking for Liverpool yet, when do we think it will start clicking for them? And will they lose a couple of games before that? Because it lies in statistics, but teams that lose, the average number of defeats for a league team who's won the league has been 4. They've lost 3 already. Are they going to go the rest of the season undefeated? Does this look like a team that's going to do it? It's hard to predict that. I'm not saying it's not possible. But Liverpool, I think, have dropped down to 3rd place for me. Virgil van Dijk is missing when he had Gomez, Trent, Prime, Robertson and Matip always taken for granted when collective is ultra reliable. I just don't like his attitude at the moment. I think he's using the fact that he's untouchable and, he wins things and he's basically bullying the team around him. I don't think he has a lot of time for Konate. I think he puts a lot of pressure on those. If he isn't going to run back and tackle back, it puts pressure on teams. Liverpool probably win the league next season. Depends. Do you know what? We've all seen it. Arne Slot. There are sections of the Liverpool fan base that are already talking about Arne Slot losing his job, huh?
Well, after 2 seasons.
Yeah. And we're in the first season where he won the league. Yeah. Football's gone crazy. Yeah? There is no patience anymore. And I'm not blaming the fans at all for Ange Postecoglou. How can you? That's a Marinakis classic, isn't it? But there's no kind of patience anywhere. There's people just want things all the time. They want, and they knee-jerk reactions. We look at us with our game against Man City, which we didn't even lose. But it's handbrake on and you can't start Marino and I know better than, and now it's all happy days. It's very moment by moment. I'm not sure I fully understand modern football. I'm not sure I want to.
No, I mean, it's not like it used to be in the olden days, eh?
Oh, well, I said that, because on Deluded show, I said the only thing I think that's changed is under George Graham, I never heard anyone complaining if we went away to a mid-table team and won 1-0. Never, I've never heard that before. Now, there's going to be people going, it's going to come back and bite us in the arse. We're still not good enough. This is not how champions play. I see guys at 30 telling me what it takes to win a league. And I think, how do you know? How do you know what it takes to win a league? You were 9. Just calm down. I think what our league always felt like to me was there's 1 or 2, I think 2002 and 2004 and 91 might be the only leagues that where I didn't spend as much time thinking we weren't going to do it. 89, by the time I was fully convinced we were going to do it, we threw it away. Derby and Wimbledon, we'd thrown it away, and then and I was like, right, we're definitely not going to do it. 91, we just never lost. We apart from that one away game to Chelsea where we lost 2-1, we never lost. But we weren't knocking 3 past teams. We were winning 1-0 to the Arsenal and boring the shit out of everyone. But no Arsenal fan I can remember used to complain.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's where the old chant came from, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it preceded that. 1-0 to the Arsenal. He repopularised it, but 1-0 to the Arsenal. Boring Arsenal was my favourite. We used to sing it all the time. Boring Arsenal. It's in the pubs after the games, you'd be like, boring Arsenal. It's, I don't know. It's not enough. Like I will say, you watch the Fulham game, we win 1-0, we're top of the table, banana skin averted. He played the team most people wanted to see out there. There was no handbrake on or off or whatever. We got some dodgy decisions. We didn't over-celebrate. I didn't do anything wrong. And then you go and watch fan TV and it's people going, this is boring football. And you're like, I don't know. All right, let's get Angian. Let's have exciting football. Oh, no, I want to win things. All right, well, sometimes winning things is boring, no? No.
Oh, yeah, but then what's the difference between boring and tactical, though?
I don't know. I mean, I thought a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the pundits that said that Man City are really boring. And a Man City fan that was going, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's like, well, it's not fun watching Man City. They're just miles better than anyone else. They play the ball around. They score a couple of goals. And it's never an interesting match. And yet when they're lifting the Premier League trophy up, none of their fans are going, I'd give it all away just for 1 or 2 more thrilling games. It's like, thrilling games are shit. I don't want another thrilling league game. I would like it if not one other team gets a shot on target against us for the rest of the season. I really don't need it to be thrilling. We've got the cups for that, and they'll be thrilling. Get a question for Dan Zanzi. Enjoy your time here, guys. Legends, also don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Bless up. Bless up. Fresh.
Bless up.
Absolute hero, sir. Thank you, Fresh Drip Art, indeed. Zanzi, nice one. Thought the clue is in your profile pic. All right.
Yeah, that's the Zanzibar flag, that is.
Yeah.
Not the Tanzania flag.
No, I wouldn't know. Right, lads, your favourite Bristolian is off now. Oh, fucking hell. Vicky Pollard's gone. Are you going as well? Anthony Herbert. Big arms, Earth Vader. Anthony Herbert dipped in sherbet. I love it. That'll catch on. We is big arms. Anthony dipped in sherbet. Herbert. Earth Ernie Vader. The one, the only, the inimitable tractor driving sensation. Be lucky.
He's probably got some really pointing to do tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who out of the Invincible team walks into our current squad? Oh, I love that. I love that question. I love your question. Love it. Zandy, do you want a time to think about that? Or who walks into from the Invincibles?
Well, no, because didn't we do this a few months back?
We'll do it every month. It doesn't matter. We're going to do Bergkamp.
Oh, you got to put Bergkamp and Henry there.
I think it's Henry. Let's be honest, it's Henry. Always Henry. You can't judge a transfer window this early. Society today wants instant gratification. That said, I think it's looking like we won the window via our quality and depth, and that's allowing us to deal with injury. Yeah, I think it's at this point. I could not agree more wholeheartedly with everything you said there. You should not judge a transfer window until you see what that's done. Like for Liverpool, their transfer window's given them a lot of extra headaches that they probably didn't need. Like, he's played, Arnie Slot's played Isak today, probably should have played a Ekitike on form, but then you're thinking, how do I drop him? But when you look at the fact that Ekitike cost 90 million, Florian Wirtz cost 130 million, and Frimpong, you're looking at that bench going, that's a big bench. There's 400 million pounds worth of players on that bench. That's difficult to justify if you're going to lose at home to Man United. You can't, yeah. So I agree. We also, I think we went out and did the pragmatic thing, and I give Andrea Berta huge credit for that. I think he went out and said, what are the positions we need? And he got them all. All right, we've lost Jorginho and Thomas Partey. I'll go and get us 2 defensive midfielders. Yeah, no problem. Last season we didn't have cover for Bukayo Saka. Yeah, I'll get one. What about a striker? We need someone who can score goals. Shall I go and get the most prolific goal scorer in European football? Yeah, I'll do that then. We lack that creative element. If Odegaard's out, we don't quite. I'll get you Eza. It's like if he came back and went, what? Oh, and who's this Mosquera kid? Don't worry, he's the shit. Well, I've never heard of him, but he's 50 million. He's a punt. No, he's not a punt. He's world class. Well, how good is he? We'll put it this way: if Saliba's injured, you won't know.
Yeah.
Fuck off, really? And we've yet to see Hincapié. And all I've heard about him, I don't remember him that much. I have to be honest. In Bundesliga, he's not a player that ever really stood out for me. I think everybody at Leverkusen's going to be.
What was he about? 15 million, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's fuck all.
Yeah.
Literally
Well, apparently he's supposed to be absolutely shit up down the left-hand side.
And I think he's going to put a lot of. I think what you're seeing this season in our transfer window, at the very least, it's made a lot of people kind of think, do you know what? I better play. I better fucking play because, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Wanyeri, great as they are, they're not in the side for reasons, Like, I think Calafiori, I've had my doubts about him pretty consistently, and I'm starting to think, what am I talking about? He hasn't put a foot wrong yet, and he still might. Danzibar in full effect. Aye, aye, aye. Hear me out. Hear me out. Press the like button. Hear me out. Mo Salah's not as good as Danny Welbeck. Hear me out. I want you, please, in the comments, put your silliest football idea, or thing you'd actually believe, but no one else agrees with. I'm going to investigate these. I'm going to make that a regular Monday night thing. Bless up, Anthony. Slot under pressure is crazy. It is crazy. You're not a real football fan if you want to be that way. If there's always someone better out there, then you're being a dickhead. The question should be the other way around, I think. Oh, it's a brilliant question. That is. So who out of this team gets into the Invincibles? Bloody hell. I'm gonna put a pin in that one. We are definitely coming back to that. I want more of the guys in the crowd. Want to hear what everyone thinks on that one. That's a bloody good question. If you want to put that in the comments now, do. Otherwise, that's definitely going to be the subject of the debate either tomorrow, Tuesday, or Thursday. It's a brilliant. Oh, Friday. I forget we don't do Thursdays anymore. Who would be a manager these days? I would. How many points are we getting in the next 5 games? To caveat this with the fact that my predictions have proven to be 7 points adrift of the actual results. Just to be clear, I predicted we'd get a draw away to Man United, that we would beat Leeds, that we would lose away to Liverpool, that we'd beat Forest, that we'd draw at home with City, that we'd lose away to Newcastle, we'd draw at home to West Ham, and that I did think we would win away to Fulham. So I thought we'd have 12 points. We actually have 19 points. But I think we'll be getting a draw against Palace at home. I think we'll beat Burnley and Sunderland away. I think we will beat Spurs at home. And I think we will beat Chelsea away. So I think I've actually predicted 13 points from the next 5 games. Any of those sound wrong to you, Zanzi?
No, I'm just having a look and see who we got in the next 5 games.
So the next 5 games in
Palace home win.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a draw.
Against Palace?
Yeah. We've not done well against Palace in the last 5 years. We've done worse against Palace in the last 5 years than we have against City. Sorry, not true. Don't know why I said that. It's the other way around.
Brighton.
Home. No, that's the League Cup. I couldn't give a.
Oh, it's League Cup. Forget that. Yeah, forget that. Way to Burnley. That's a away win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Sunderland, 7th.
Sunderland could be difficult.
Well, Burnley and Sunderland could be difficult. I think we've got enough.
Home win.
Tottenham's a home win. Should be. We have a phenomenal record against them at home. But
I'll be confident to get. Not confident. I'll be confident against away to Chelsea as well.
Yeah, but if we do drop 2 points in that game over expectations, the rest go to plan. We're still ahead of Liverpool and probably Man City. The great thing about Liverpool is that they now, at around about the time we're playing Sunderland away, they're playing Man City away. So their
draw would be good there.
Well, it will. They would be doing really well to get a draw there.
Yeah, but where Liverpool are at the moment compared to where Man City are, if they drew, we win. That's another 2 points in an advantage.
Totally. It absolutely is great news for us if those two teams draw. That is the hardest game Liverpool play every season. There's only one game in their calendar which is harder than that one, and it will surprise you which that game is, because I don't think I would have guessed it. But over the last 5 years, they have managed to take only 1 point per game average away to Brighton. Liverpool do really badly away to Brighton. They do better away to Man City than they do to Brighton. And they don't play Brighton until March, but I think they'll be out of it by January at this point. You can never say. I mean, this is why I caveat it by saying my predictive ability is obviously a little bit off. If I'm 7 points, I thought we'd have 12 points at this point in the season, and we have 19. So that, I think, is a fitting example of how much better Arteta's team are doing than you would have expected.
Yeah, and how much better our buys were in the summer than Liverpool's.
Or how much better they've integrated.
Yeah.
Something's going right, and I'm really thrilled about it.
And I think the thing which is going right is the fact that we've got 11 Arsenal supporters playing for us.
I don't know about Trossard. Lovely to see him celebrate, though.
Yeah, for once. Yeah,
makes a nice change, doesn't it? Trossard, get involved.
Mind you, I think he's just trying to get away from Saliba.
I think we've got a really good team ethos. I was watching the football with a missus, and she said, "Do you know when Arsenal celebrate? They just..." Because she watched a lot of football with me, because I've been camped out on the sofa and she's been looking after me. I'm so lucky. But so she watched some of the games with me. She goes, when other teams celebrate, when City celebrate, they don't seem to enjoy each other as much, And I was like, well, celebration police are out today for Thomas Frank. I think 13 points in the next 5, draw against Chelsea away and win the rest. Yeah, see, we just disagree. I think we'll win against Chelsea. But that could easily be a draw. We could, if we beat Palace. I'm just at this point, I'm already just thinking next game, that's all that counts. Ange Postecoglou in his first full season, 9 games in, was top of the table. Doesn't mean anything from here. But I think there are some real positives. If you don't look at the results, you look instead at the process. The fact that teams are not getting shots against us, that's good.
I mean, two games on the trot and no one's had a shot against us on target.
Yeah, that's a record. It's been a record for a while, isn't it? The Millet, fantastic. Slot out is led by Lee Scally and Jez in the Scouser. Is there an alternate Lee Gunner and Jez? Please tell me there is. Lee Scally and Jez the Scouser. That would be so funny. Oh God, maybe every team's got them. Can you imagine? I can now actually imagine it. Derby County have their own Lee Gunner and Jez going, "This club had standards. We won the old First Division." Okay, Mike. Not see you, Anthony. I've made fresh drip Australian. Dan's football gone mad. Look what happened. And no defense, just attack. I don't know. I mean, how do you sum up Ange Postecoglou? It's just who we are, mate. I'm not prepared to change. I'm getting a £2 million payoff for 38 days' work. I'm not prepared to change, mate.
He's the fastest sacking of a Premier manager ever.
There's one that was sacked more quickly, but there were extenuating circumstances, and I cannot remember what they are now. Might even just been a caretaker manager that was sacked. Stellini was sacked quicker than him. Yeah, it is. But then if you compare it, he lasted about 20 days longer than Erik ten Hag. Big up Mel. Does Havertz walk back into the team when he's fit? I'm afraid I think he might do. I think by that point you have to give Gyökeres a rest. Depending on how he does, he might hold that position. I mean, what happens if, like, let's say, I don't know when Havertz is fully fit, and I hope they don't rush him. I really hope they don't rush him back. But if he's fully fit and he comes in and he scores 2 goals, can you just drop him really quickly? I don't know. Listen, I'm just glad. I think I speak for everyone when I say I'm just glad we've got choices. Zandy, how do you feel?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Gyökeres is actually, he's not scoring, but I think he's playing really well. He's getting better and better every game. And I think it's just going to take time for him to find the back of the net. And once he does that, I think he's going to lift off.
I don't think he's going to lift off. I just don't think he's that. But let's hope you're right, though. Brian has put here, I would be happy if we win the league playing how we played yesterday. I don't care. But part of me is worried that it's not sustainable. Brian, can I ask, how old are you? Do you remember 91? Do you remember any of the leagues before? Because that's pretty much how it felt for me in 91. I mean, 91 was utterly processional. You know, we just ground out game after game after game, and we were never looked back, never looked like we were going to lose the games. Ended up winning without having to kick a ball because Ian Woan scored a cracking goal from Nottingham Forest against Liverpool, and we were playing Man United and got handed the trophy without having to do anything. And there was about 4 or 5 games left of the season. I remember most of the way through that season thinking there's no way we can sustain this, but we did. I remember Liverpool last season thinking they can't sustain this, can they? But they did. I've seen that with Man City, thinking they can't. They're not just going to, but they do. I think it just feels like that. It's anxiety-inducing. It's nerve-wracking. You do kind of think, do I think that we'll go the rest of the season not conceding another goal? Of course not. Got you, little fucker. Been bothering me for ages. I think that might have been a moth, as we know they are.
You sure it's not a small bat?
I don't know, actually. Isn't that the same thing? Isn't a moth a small bat?
Yeah.
Aren't they mammals cross? I don't know. Might have been a flying spider. I don't know. Could have been a seagull. I think that when you're supporting a team that wins the league, you hope, you think there's no way we can carry on like this. And sometimes you just do. It just does. You do. It carries on like that. And it is nerve-wracking. It's hard. You know, like it's not... I can't remember a league. I mean, Invincibles. People talk about the Invincibles now who weren't part of it. No, I didn't really feel like we weren't going to win the league from about halfway. But you still don't know. I mean, there were some shit games there. It was that Portsmouth game. I always remember that. 98 was far from thinking it was going to be sustainable. We had to win our last 10 games, and I thought, well, they're not going to do that. But every game that goes by, Bolton, Christopher Ray with a late goal. You know, it's just 1-0 away to Bolton, the 97-98 double team with Mark Overmars, Dennis Bergkamp, Nick Anelka. You know, looking at all these teams and going, but, you know, the 98 team, they did the double. They were incredible. Yeah, but by December, none of us thought we were going to do it. That's just part of winning a league. You don't know. That's why it's so stressful. I think Arsenal fans, this could be the closest we've ever been, and I just want them to get ready for it. Get ready. Deal with the pressure, because it's going to be pressure. It's going to be nights where it's going to be games that don't go how you want them to. It's going to be, you know, away to Villa, desperately hoping for a goal, and then they suddenly score and you think it's all over, and then you equalise and you're elated about it, but then you think, oh, is that enough? And it just, you know, when it comes down to it, games like Brighton away in March, you know, we're 4 points clear. If we beat Brighton, we go 7 points clear, and we go there and they beat us and everyone's shitting themselves. 89. All we had to do was beat Wimbledon and Derby. We had to win one of those games, and we didn't. And like, you just winning a league is really difficult. Who would now walk into the Invincible stands? I just can't see. I can't. A Saka maybe. I mean, how though? How do you try? Like, that's a tough one. I want to give that some proper thought, and I will do it. And I think we could do a whole show on that.
I think there's three teams, three players who would definitely walk into the Arsenal side from the Invincibles, and that's Henry, Bergkamp, and Perez.
But the other way around.
Yeah.
No, I mean, who would walk into the Invincibles from the current side?
Oh.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like that. The question.
Yeah.
You could make an argument for any one of the Invincibles could come in. You know, I mean, any one of would like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sol Campbell, is Sol Campbell better or worse than Gabriel? You tell me. Honestly, I think you have to give it to. I think you have to give it to Sol Campbell. Colatore, I don't know. Saliba, Colatore, I don't know. It's a very tough one. But the other way around, which of this era, you will not consider any of this current crop of players in the same sentence until they win the league. And then we can have this conversation. But I think we should have it before then. I think it's a fantastic question, to be fair. Havertz will walk back into the team. I'm not sure he'll walk back in. But yeah, I do think he gets back in. Saka gets into the Invincibles. Rice might get into the Invincibles after this season, maybe Timber too. Yeah, see, I think we're on the same page. I think depending on how this season goes, because if we don't win the league from here, you do have to wonder why. You have to say, look, what did we do wrong? We've got the squad. You know, like it's seasons before where you go, well, Man City are just better than us. They're not now. You know, you go, oh, Liverpool are champions. They've got better team. They've got more experience winning things. The only reason we don't win the league this season is because our mentality isn't strong enough. Or there's a black swan moment, like Coles was saying. Like that, I can't predict an apocalypse. But that to one side. If we go on to win the league, then people like Declan Rice, people like Bukayo Saka, and all of the team now will be in those conversations. David Raya definitely will be for me. I don't think if David Raya wins the Golden Glove 3 seasons in a row, the season we win the league and maybe concede fewer goals than we did with David Seaman in 91. I think that was 17 or 18 goals. If we do better than that, like he's in any conversation for me. Berta is a genius. The players he signed, he got out of the club, and the players he got to resign. The guy boss it. I think if you're giving out, yeah. I mean, he's earned a bonus for me. I think we should
he earned a bonus when he signed, Esli.
Yeah, I tell you what, stick a couple of 100,000 in the super stickers, and I'll make sure he gets it.
Yeah,
I know, I will. I promise. Absolutely.
There's all these poor little Spurs fans. Oh, we're getting this. We're getting that. How come Arsenal bought him?
Do you know what? And it's funny, isn't it? Like, as a scout, I kind of suck. Maybe it's too early to say that, but I really wanted Javi Simmons. I really wanted someone to sign Gittins because I wasn't sure if he was any good or not. Turns out, no. You know, like he came on for Chelsea, didn't see him do anything. Fresh trip. Oh, sorry. Today, these players are trying money, not sport, when it comes working together. I don't know, you know, like there are lots of teams where I think it just comes down to squad harmony and maybe you stick with Ruben Amorim for long enough and it'll come good. It's an opposing view, isn't it? You got Marinakis makes a decision over Ange Postecoglou in 38 days. And Man United are talking about, so Jim Radcliffe is talking about giving Ruben Amorim 3 years. I have this image of Ruben Amorim sitting at home at night going, what have I got to do to get a payoff? This prick, Ange Postecoglou, has been sacked twice. I'm way worse than him. He beat me in a final. How much worse do I have to be to get my Kvanchavunch, the Kvidas, you know, like, what do I have to do to get sacked around here? It's like, you know, Ruben Amorim has at least the same claim to being the worst manager in the history of his club that Ange Postecoglou has had.
I bet Amorim's just at home now thinking, fuck, we just got to beat Liverpool. I'm never going to get sacked now.
Now. Oh, I've got another 3 years anyway. I'll be stuck here forever. I just want to pay off. I want to go play golf on the Algarve. Do you know what? Like I want to play Happy Hippos. It's a funny. I'm sure he's delighted that he won tonight. I'm sure. I love that Man United beat Liverpool. I mean, it's still not quite a 7-1, is it? Saka, Timber, Gabriel Saliba, Zubimendi, and Rice would get into the invincible team for me. No, I don't think I can have that. Saka, Timber, Gabriel, Rice and Saliba. But you can't be putting Zubamendi in after just 10 games. I mean, that's a bit mental. That's that shit. You done smoked a tree. The Gooner fanzine from the George Graham days. I have a ton of them in my life. That's what I named. Well, no surprise, is it? That's what this is based on. I used to fucking love them. They're more important than that. I've got stacks of them somewhere. I love them. That was a real highlight of going to a game, was buying the Gooner. And digital age is kind of done for it. My brother said this to me. He said, I can't believe you could call your channel the Gooner. I was like, I can't believe it either. Like, what happened to the Gooner? The Gooner fanzine. I'd like us to do more to make this like the Gooner fanzine. But the Gooner fanzine, I think that's why I hate the grouchy, pissed off, angry fans, because the Gooner was never that. It was always a laugh. He used to take the piss. Always took the piss out of Kevin Campbell not being able to finish and Ian Wright having to finish off for him. There was one where he was in bed with his missus. It's like there's some very close to that, but it's always good laugh. Always good laugh. What kind of Arsenal fan are you with those early predictions? Happy you were 7 points behind. Yeah, fucking delighted. I basically don't do it on gut feel. I do it on previous form. There's a number of metrics I use. And I'm delighted. I'm delighted I was wrong. But when I do predictions, I tend to not do them with my heart because, of course, I want us to win every game. It'd be easy to sit here and say, I think we're going to win every game. But I don't. I honestly thought we would go to St. James's Park. I mean, how silly is it to make a prediction that you can go to St. James's Park and win if for the last 2 years you haven't? But yeah, absolutely delighted. And furthermore, delighted that Liverpool have so far underperformed their predicted score by 7 points. It's a 14-point swing. I do think at the end of the season, I'm never usually far off the correct points tally. I have correctly predicted the previous 3 seasons, much as I didn't want to. I've predicted that we'll finish on 89 points this season, up from the 84 I predicted at the start of the season. It is, as Maynard Keynes said, I change my opinions when the facts change. What do you do, sir? But yeah, absolutely. What kind of Arsenal fan are you with these early predictions? I didn't do a video on it. I didn't do a whole kind of. I don't think I would feel comfortable giving a prediction on the Premier League until January. Honestly, you just don't know who's going to assimilate well, who's going to be good, who's not. There's too many variables, right? I mean, now forensically looking back at Liverpool, you go, oh well, they lost Diogo Jota, and Isak didn't have a preseason, and Florian Wirtz is changing, and and they've had to change both their fullbacks, and they've lost good quality. So it's easy to look back and see why they haven't done well, but I still thought that when you go out and you add Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Alexander Isak, Frimpong, and Kirkes to the squad they had that won the league by 10 points last season, you'd expect them to do really well. I'm not Nostradamus. That's all I would say. Saka, for me, walks into the invincible team for sure. Who'd you drop? That's the only question. Saka and Saliba. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. 28 points for Arsenal. Doesn't make sense. Sweet dreams, Anthony. That makes sense. Poor Dan. Makes no sense. Lemons, Lenny, Yoro, Maguire, Nasser Mazraoui, Mason Mount, Patrick Dorgu, rest up. Massive game in Brighton. Shouldn't be, though, should it? And also, you're not allowed to celebrate, by the way. Yardman has declared that unless you're winning something, you can't celebrate. I hope you get better soon, Dan. I feel like I'm getting better, and thanks to you guys. I really appreciate you. Honey and lemon drink helps you. It hasn't. It really hasn't. It's a horrible virus. Big Ange to Rangers. Oh, if Rosie was here, she'd be, yes, please. That'd be great. And a Celtic legend. That's what we needed.
I can't see Ange going to Rangers, not after being a Celtic manager.
I can't. But Cloughie lasted 44 days at Leeds. I know, and he was shit. I don't think even my generation. I mean, I didn't live through. I mean, you're a tiny bit older than me, so you would remember that Brian Clough got a team promoted and won the league with a promoted team. Won the league with then won the European Cup,
Twice.
And then didn't win the league, but because he'd won the European Cup, qualified for the European Cup again and won it. I can't think of an achievement that matches that. And it was Brian Clough himself who said he thought the greatest achievement was the Invincibles. I just love Brian Clough. But by the time I was well into football, he was a shadow of his former self.
Everyone was saying that he should be the England manager, but he was not a yes man. That's why he didn't get the job.
Yeah, I think that probably is why he didn't get the job. Can you imagine though? I don't know if what he does works as an international manager, because you hear the players loved him, didn't they? The story, my favourite story that you hear, Mark Crossley, who does a fantastic Brian Clough impression. Please look him up. He's fantastic. Every time you see Brian Clough talked about by Mark Crossley, it's like, you know, he had he told Mark Crossley that he had to play for his son's non-league team, and he said, bring your boots and your gloves would be preferable. And he turns up on a Saturday when they haven't got a game, and or Sunday, and he drives him to his son's non-league game. He goes, you're in goal. He's a ringer. And he got a 50 quid fine for playing, you know, a ringer, and he took it out of his wages. My favorite story, I mean, Dean Saunders talking about meeting Brian Clough is just I cannot do that justice. You have to go and look that up. But when the other one was when Stuart Pearce had been away with England and been captain for England, and Cloughy came into the dressing room and he goes, do you think you played well for England? And Pearce is like, yeah, I don't know, right? Yeah. You know, captain, we won. He goes, right, well, you're a fraud. He's got a carrier bag with an iron in it. He goes, on page 22 of the programme, it says Stuart Pearce Electricals. Now, if Mrs. Clough phones that number, she's not going to get Stuart Pearce, is she? He goes, no, well, before I was playing football, I ran an electrical business. My brother's taking it over. It's still called Stuart Pearce Electricals. You're a fraud. And he hands him a carrier bag with a kettle in it. He goes, that's not kettle. It might have been a kettle or an iron. I can't remember. A kettle in it anyway. And he goes, fix that or you're not playing come Saturday. He's got Stuart Psycho Pearce, the England captain, and he hands him an electrical appliance and says, if you don't fix that, you're not in the team. And he went and fixed it. And it's just like, I don't think that Arteta would get away with that.
No, but there again, Arteta got someone in to rob them.
I know.
Yeah.
I love it. I think that there's an agenda, right? There are people who hate Arteta. That's fine. You're allowed to hate Arteta. You're allowed to not think he's very good. I love, by the way, most of the intelligent football fans I know, and God, we get a lot of them on here, they park that. You know, whether Anthony's not a really big Arteta fan or whatever, but he's like, we're all more Arsenal than we are Arteta or not Arteta. And so I think it's all right to say that at the moment doesn't look like he's going to get the sack. It'd be weird if he was. If we read the paper tomorrow and it's like Arteta sacked after taking 4-point lead over Liverpool, you know. So we all know he's not getting sacked. But if he doesn't win the league this season, I think there's a conversation that has to be had. I just don't think it has to be so vitriolic. I mean, when I see people calling him a psychopath and a scumbag, and you just think, where do you get the notion that Arteta's a psychopath?
And these are Arsenal fans saying that.
Yeah, Shane Gooners constantly calling him a psychopath.
All right.
A narcissist. It's funny. I operate a rule that the thing that people accuse other people of being tells you a lot about themselves. That's why I go around telling everyone they're a fucking attractive genius. I mean, Zandy, you fucking attractive genius, you. Hi, Fresh Drip, says Millet. Hello, says Gary. Oh, Anthony's not here, or he would do the hello and goodbye. How are you doing, Gary? Yeah. Where were you yesterday? I tuned in. I briefly turned over to watch Don't Waste a Trip on a Saturday, and you were not there. Are you in Seattle or something? I'd love to know where you are.
Maybe he's washing his curtains. You never know.
You're in his curtains. How we're playing is not sustainable, but it's very obvious that we haven't clicked yet. We can get better still and probably will get better. I think we will get better. I agree with you, Boytendia. Oh, that reminds me. There was a really good comment. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow. Maybe I'll mention this tomorrow. There was a really good comment. I've just literally been sat in front of the TV for 2 days. People...
I'm just looking at Lucky Singh's thingy here, and he says, please make happen Suindale, Nottingham Forest.
God, that's not good for Forest fans, is it, though? That isn't good for them. We've also had a whole lot of road bumps thrown at us already with Havertz, Jesus, Magalhaes, White, Saka, and Madueke injuries. Yeah. I think what's great about our team is we've stopped complaining about shit. You know, like we all sort of thought that it should have been a penalty, but it doesn't matter. When Newcastle, that could have been a game we had lots of complaints about. In the end, it didn't matter because we won it. That's what I've learned. I've learned that the better. Oh, we've got another like on Facebook. Durham Leopard, you are without doubt one of the old legends and best loved regulars of this show. Thank you so much. But I think we have had bumps in the road as well. We're not going to get, Tottenham can talk about injuries and everyone feels sorry for them. Liverpool can talk about, things not going their way and people feel sorry for them. No one's going to feel sorry for us. No one likes us. We don't care. Imagine Anelka and Henry at their prime playing together. Would have loved to see that. Scary indeed.
That's Gabriel being injured this season then?
Yeah, he missed a couple of games.
I know Saliba did.
Gabriel missed a couple of games as well. Right at the beginning.
Because Saliba got injured in the warm-up, didn't he, against Liverpool?
Well, he played 5 minutes, didn't he?
Yeah, and
annoying.
Thingy came in.
Second?
And Thingamajig came in.
Mosquera.
Mosquera, that's it, yeah.
Mosquera. Oh, I'm talking shit. Gabriel hasn't missed any league matches. No, he has played. Oh, why did I think he'd had missed one? What am I? Has he not played in the cup then? Is that blah 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 blah? No, he played against Athletic Club.
I know Hincapie has been injured.
Yeah,
and he still is.
Yeah. Oh no, shit. No, absolutely. Hasn't missed a game. Hasn't missed a game. He sat out the Bolivia game for Brazil. Yeah, talking shit. So.
Yeah, but if you look at that, I mean, Havertz, Jesus, Hincapie.
Well, Jesus doesn't count, does he? Because he hasn't played this calendar year, really. I mean,
but Madueke. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players out, not including Jesus. That would hurt a lot of other teams.
Oh fuck! Just our injury list for this game, for the Fulham game, would hurt a lot of teams. Our captain is out. Gabby Jesus, one of our record goal scorers.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Udegaard on that list as well.
Kai Havertz, one of our most expensive players of all time, is out.
Yeah.
So we're looking at this. Yeah, it was nice to see Norgård getting some minutes. I don't really know what you're supposed to do with that, but. Saka's comments recently about being fed up with coming close and not making excuses bodes well. I really love Saka. I mean, he is without question my favourite player of the last 20 years. Or maybe, he is. He just is. He's a proper Arsenal player, isn't he? I think he's a reincarnation of Rocastle. Boy Tendia says, just who gets into team, our whole starting 11 can get into the Invincibles team and play some role over a season. Not sure about Trossard, sorry. But, it's a conversation. It's an ongoing one. It's a brilliant conversation starter. It's something we can talk about a lot. Thing is, until Arteta gets us over the line and we won't crumble under pressure, there will be questions unanswered. That is the reality that we're all living with. The only reason we haven't won a league in the last 3 years is not necessarily our mentality, but it's a factor. If we didn't win the season last season because of injuries, because of all manner of problems we had, we can understand and we know that's a factor. The season before, we were close, but we just couldn't get past a Man City, who were the most determined team. And the season before that, we crumbled because we weren't expecting to be where we were and we lacked the squad depth and the mentality. Now we have the squad depth. The only thing I think that keeps us from winning the league is mentality, and we'll find that out. And if Arteta gets us close, but one of these teams overhaul us because we get silly results towards the end of the season, then you have to look at it and say, look, whatever's happened here, he hasn't set the team up mentally right. They don't have that conviction. George Graham had the team believing he was psychic. Arsene Wenger just built a squad that had enough about them. They were the greatest Arsenal team I've ever seen, possibly ever will see. Who knows? Hooded X-Freak. None of our current squad walk into the Invincibles right now, but there are a few push for minutes. Saka, Timber, Rice, Saliba, Gabriel will push for starts. I think that's fair. I think I agree wholeheartedly with that statement. I'd be surprised if anyone would really disagree with that. I love it. And no celebrations allowed. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to do it again because I made this video and I want to show it.
Absolute beauty. Dancing in the rain, Thomas Frank. We've seen that sort of second ball on.
I'm not going to jump for joy but when we win a game. What I want to see is a title. Because I see we win every season. We see we win.
Don't jump for joy. But we are, but when we win a title, do you think he'll jump for joy? Box Fresh Limited. Hello, Dan. Hear us out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm about to say something stupid. Boxed. I'm doing a segment. I'm doing a show tomorrow. I'm doing a segment on it that's called Hear Me Out, where I want to hear everybody's silliest football takes. Good luck having a sillier football take than you'd rather win the Europa League than the Premier League. But great to have you here. No, he won 2 leagues with promoted teams. First was Derby when he got to a European Cup semi-final, got beat by Real Madrid. The other was not. It's incredible, isn't it? Brian Clough is just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely love him. Well, I loved him. I'd never forget my flatmate, Dermot, one of my best friends, hated him. Whenever he came on telly, he hated him. He always hated him all the time. So one Christmas, for a laugh, I bought him Brian Clough's autobiography. And he was a voracious appetite for reading. And so he read it by Boxing Day. And I was like, do you still hate him? He goes, no, I fucking like him now. He's a really... After that, he loved Brian Clough from then on. He was always telling the stories I ended up reading the book myself. Just a different kind of person, isn't he? Can't remember who it was, but one ex-player told a story about Clough giving him a car in his contract, but it was an escort cabriolet that Clough's daughter didn't want. It was Mark Crossley. It was the Mark Crossley story where he hands him a blank sheet of paper and he goes, sign that. Mark Crossley, I can't sign, there's nothing on it. He goes, sign it or you'll be playing for Scunthorpe. He's like, so he signed it and got like 600 quid a week or whatever it was. And when he got handed his envelope with the contract, it had keys at the bottom and it was a white cabriolet. And it was Clough's daughter's car. Des Walker's been talking Clough stories recently. I mean, that's you dine out on those. Everyone wants to hear a Clough story. There's plenty of them around. And Mark Crossley for me, because he was so close to him for so long. He does obviously a really good impression of him. I'm doing my best, but his are really good. Boy Tendio, I wouldn't have been able to deal with Clough on that Stuart Pearce story. It was just so funny, though, isn't it? Like, this isn't Stuart Pearce, some meek little fullback. It's not. Nigel Winterburn was a tough guy, but Stuart Pearce's nickname was Psycho. And you didn't need to be told twice why his nickname was Psycho. You pretty much you watched Stuart Pearce on the pitch and you thought, oh yeah, no, that's a nickname. I would give him that. Just his look, his veins throbbing when he's holding his fist up to the Wembley crowd because he scored the penalty that redeems him for the one he missed against Germany in 90, 6 years previously. Fucking love Stuart Pearce. Malt Licky Texas is here. Hi, all. This is worth staying up late for you guys. What are you doing? Come on this time of night. It's a half of midnight.
It's funny because when Stuart Pearce used to tackle people, they knew about it.
Yeah, for weeks.
Yeah.
But he was clean, dirty. He wasn't like Brian. He wasn't like. Oh God, he wasn't like. How have I forgotten Roy Keane? He wasn't like hurt. I mean, but they were manly men doing manly things, and he was as tough as they come, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. In
an era of tough players, wasn't it? Crossley who Clough kept calling Jigsaw. Yes, he kept shouting Jigsaw at him when he first started. He goes, "Boss, why are you calling me Jigsaw? Because you go to pieces in the box." Oh, fucking love him. I could literally listen to Cloughy stories all day, every day. Idris Adam, buenas noches. I've said that completely wrong. Buenas noches, I meant to say.
Is he just going to bed on his own, though?
Who knows? See you tomorrow. I do want to say this. Straight in with what is that? A super that a super chat? That's a gift. You're paying for the whole stream. Thank you so much. More Leaky Texas. That is, I genuinely don't. The hardest thing for me to do is to convey just how much it means to me and how grateful I am. I am really grateful. Thank you so much. I love seeing all of you guys. Those generous gifts keep the show going, and I love it. Thank you so much. It was Saliba that missed games over Magalhaes. Bodes even better. It's true. Why did I think Magalhaes should miss games?
I don't know.
Going a bit mad. Gabriel didn't start against Bilbao and Port Vale. Well, you wouldn't want him to. Bilbao and Port Vale, you wouldn't want him to. Was that an injury though? What? My memory's so shit. I was desperately trying. When we didn't get the penalty yesterday, I was like, when was the other game we didn't get penalty? It took me ages to remember it was Newcastle, and that wasn't even that long ago. Fresh trip art. People asking where Rosie is. I don't know. She sent me a lovely message earlier today saying, "Are you all right?" And I think I told her I wasn't going to be doing a show, or I mentioned it in the group and then changed my mind. Excuse me, sir. You seem to be celebrating there. Yes. We're here to talk to a Mr. Thomas Frank. Apparently, you were celebrating a goal, but you went on to lose the game. I don't understand. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Welcome all newcomers. Thank you for joining us here at the Adams Arms. We appreciate you and your valuable time. Enjoy your time here, legends. I don't know if there's that many new people, to be honest with you. We don't really get a lot of new people walk through the door. It's one of those, it's a little bit like the slaughtered lamb from American Werewolf in London. The Damned United is a really good book about Clough 2. I didn't read the book, but I have seen the film, and I do love the film. You can take all of the medals you've won and put them in the bin. Oh, why would you do that? Billy Bremner. You've never won a single one of them playing football. Fucking. How to win friends and influence people, the Clough way. Rosie is on a personal heist. She's currently on the hunt for something beginning with H and ends in Agis. Her side quest is she's on the hunt for a new manager for Rangers. Not going well so far. I have a feeling they're going to ask Rosie to do it. I hope it doesn't interfere with her moderating this channel. But I think we could allow her the 6 weeks sabbatical to go and do that. Damn, I'm high. Mr. Arsenal Podcast, Ryan's here. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you indeed. It's almost Christmas. That manager might come in handy. That manger. Oh, I see what you mean. Big up the Mr. Arsenal Podcast. Is it Haggis's or Haggai? I have to hunt. Carl Hentz.
Or maybe plural and singular are the same, like sheep.
Perhaps. Or geese.
That's geese's, isn't it?
I was waiting for someone to say. That's geese eye. Right. Zanzi, tell him
Daniel.
a story. I need to wee. So tell him a story, yeah?
Oh, Gordon Bennett. Right. You never guess what happened this weekend. Arsenal beat Fulham 1-0. Tottenham lost at home to Aston Villa after being 1-0 up. And there's more. Liverpool lost to Man United at home. First time for at least a decade that they've done that. Isn't that shocking? I'm shocked.
I didn't even have time to wipe my hands because, I heard you. We need to talk. I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was this lovely Australian fella called Ange something. I can't do the name. I can't do the accent. But he was all like, we want to make football entertaining again. And he was like, what we're going to do is we're going to play such a high line that, no one will ever be able to get past us. We shall flood the opposition box with players and we shall nut in a couple of goals and have a beer afterwards. Unfortunately, it never worked out like that. And poor little Ange Postecoglou got himself tin-tacked with only a couple of million quid to keep him company. I swear to God, man, like people who say they feel sorry for Ange Postecoglou, I'm like, you know, he's shit at his job, right? Like if you got onto a plane and Ange Postecoglou was the pilot, You wouldn't be upset if they sacked him.
No, I'd probably get it off straight away saying I want my luggage as well.
Yeah, I'd keep your luggage. I'm all right for luggage.
Yeah.
So what we've got here, Big Angie's available for Rangers if Rosie's interested. Someone tells me she's not because of his Celtic connection. It does tell you just how easy that Scottish League is, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I mean,
I can't see him going there.
He's not going to Rangers. He might go back to Celtic.
Because they're having a bit of a wobble, aren't they?
Lost, didn't they? Even I know that.
First time they'd lost to Dundee at Tannadice since 1988.
Could be the season we all thought we might never see again, which is a team winning that isn't Celtic or Rangers.
Yeah.
Tottenham was
Aberdeen, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was the last man to do it was a quite well-known Alex Ferguson.
Yep.
Or Alec Ferguson. Your preference. I think Alec is probably more fair. Tottenham went all Spursy. Dr. Tottenham. Villa in trouble. Needed a helping hand. Come and see Dr. Spurs. Dr. Tottenham will see you now. Points you need. Is it points you're looking? Points? Are you struggling at the foot of the table? Come here.
You know what I was thinking
No.
today? I was thinking if a team is looking for players in a certain position anywhere in the pitch, then what they should do is buy current Spurs players, because every Spurs player who leaves always does well.
Yeah. Yeah. Very well said. I mean, the number of ex-Spurs players who've won the Champions League is frightening. The Real Madrid crew, I've forgotten his name now, the older guy who's still playing. Obviously, you've got Gareth Bale, and you've got... they'll come back to me. But yeah, Harry Kane. Everybody who leaves wins things, it seems.
Sol Campbell.
I remember him. Salazar Campbell. I think Liverpool will come good, unfortunately. I just don't think they'll come good quickly enough. Love you really, Zanzanator. Big Ange. Morgan Rogers is quality. That was a quality. I'm thinking about him for the old fantasy Premier League. That's the other thing that fucking game does to you. It makes you watch it going, oh, Modric. Thank you, Luka Modric. Yeah, Luka Modric is still playing. Yes, I think he is. And I don't think it's in Saudi. I would be hard pressed to know where. Is it in Germany? Milan, of course. No, he went to Milano. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, is it? I don't know if he's a starter. He's a starter. He's playing fairly regularly. What are you going to do about that? They're top of the league. Luka Modric could win Serie A. Oh, my God.
How old is he now? 38, something like that? 39?
Must be at least 38, I think. He's 40.
40?
40 years old, yeah. 40 years young. I mean, that is young. I'm not going to say it's not. At least there's a footballer out there that I couldn't have fathered. I mean, that's like fucking... Oh, God.
Yeah, unfortunately, I could have.
Yeah, well, no, it's not unfortunate. It's just, Papa Zanzi. Unai Emery did his old club a favour this weekend. Thanks, Unai. Yeah, I know he wasn't doing it for that reason. I know he wasn't doing it for that reason. Plays at Milan, Modric. Yes, he does. Haven't Milan fallen off hard? Bit of a shame. Well, they're top of the league. You mean Inter Milan? No, both of them. Milan were a fucking laughing stock last season. I don't know if it's just too early to say, but AC Milano. Do you have a favourite out of Inter and AC Milan?
No. I mean, I can remember AC Milan in the 80s, and they're pretty imperious, aren't they?
Yeah, you had the Germans at Inter, and you had the Dutch at AC. Rijkaard, Van Basten, and Gullit. And then you had Rudi Voller, Bremer, and Klinsmann. And then obviously Inter had Dennis Bergkamp, so I loved them when I love Dennis Bergkamp at Inter. It makes me laugh, people don't really know, and they say that Dennis Bergkamp flopped at Inter Milan. No, he didn't. and flop. Just didn't want to play there anymore. And equally, Thierry Henry did not flop at Juventus. He just didn't want to play there anymore. There's a massive difference. No AC Milan. They're nowhere near Inter are top. No, they're not. Milan are on 16 points and Inter are on 15 points. Milan have lost one game this season with a +7 goal difference. What am I looking at? I'm looking at Allegri is in charge. No. Why did you think that? That's not the case. They were really bad last season. Napoli got 15 points. Roma got 15 points. Very close. I mean, they could still fall off. But Como is 6th. It's starting to look... I think Fabregas may one day manage Arsenal. Don't think anyone here would be upset by that, would they? AC Milan. AC Milan have a place in my heart growing up. And me. But I always thought of myself as an Inter fan. I missed the 90s Serie A. Good days they were. It was the best league in the world, but never that exciting to watch. Although I'll never forget George Weah running from his own box to the other box, scoring. There were some great players, the Ronaldos. There were some great players in there. But yeah, Kostica to Van Basten, Gullit and Donadoni. Yeah, I prefer AC Milan. I think I go Inter. I think I am always going to say Inter. I can't even explain why. Same. I have no reason. I always thought I was a Juventus fan, but I got fucking right off them. Must be thinking of last season. Yeah, last season they were a joke. Last season, I don't even think they've qualified for Europe. If I'm not sure they have. Mazraoui, you always do is you always list your players for defense. Strong next massive game against Brighton. You've said that as well. How do you feel about it though? Tell me what you think you will do against Milan. God, what am I talking about? Against Brighton. The Milan of the South, as I call them. Because I won't admit I was wrong. There's no mileage in admitting you were wrong. Not on YouTube. Are you mad? Brighton was a hell of a result against Newcastle. Danny Welbeck, you're welcome. You're welcome, Seagulls. You're welcome. I said that to the missus. She went, well, you've had a few of us. You could say welcome for Trossard. And I was like, oh, yes, yeah. So we sold them a player that won them 3 points. They sold us a player that won us 3 points. We're square. Call it a square. Interesting weekend, England football this week. Brighton are AC Milan of the South. I didn't mean that, by the way. I don't even know what that would mean. But Brighton, I'm really... do you know what? I also like, this is probably a question for another time. I think we're going to start slowly wrapping it up now. But I'm reading a book again. So it's a book I've read before. It's called X Genius. And it's about the inception of expected goals, so XG. I cannot for the life of me understand why there is such antipathy to a statistic. Like people go, oh, XG is ruining football. It's not really. You know, like if you looked at the Liverpool game today, all XG tells you is how many goals you would have been expected to score from the positions you were in. So it's a really good way of working out whether your strikers are finishing the chances they should be finishing. And I'm going to do a thing this week. I'm going to show a statistical breakdown of XG over the last 3 years as a concentric pattern so that you can see teams come in and out of form. All XG is a way of, you know, I mean, if Gary was on tonight, he always argues about process over results. If you're doing things right, but you get a bit of luck against you and you change everything, then you'll never get the fruits of your labor. If your XG tells you that you're winning matches, of course, it doesn't mean you can come out as a manager and go, well, we're brilliant. Our XG says we're brilliant. But it does give you an indication that you've probably just been unlucky. So I'm rereading X Genius, and I think it's really good. But I am surprised every time somebody mentions XG. They go, "What do you think about XG?" And it's like, it's just. Why doesn't anyone ever have a problem with the shots on target statistic? No one ever goes, "Oh, I don't believe all that, do you? Shots on target." Ooh, it's like just tells you how many shots you had. You know, we've been saying pretty consistently throughout the stream, we've done really well because no teams had a shot against us on target. That's a statistic. You could express that as a very low XG. It's just a different way of saying it.
I always find that shots on target a bit iffy because if a defender blocks it and it would have gone into the goal, it's not on target.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, do you know what? I mean, that's what XG is born out of. XG is born out of the fact that just being told a shot is on target doesn't tell you anything about it, because it can be on target where you shoot from the halfway line and the keeper just plucks it out of the air very gently, and that's a shot on target. XG just tells you whether a shot is a good shot or a bad shot. It's likely, if from that position 85% of goal shots go in, that gives you an XG of 0.85. So if you say your XG for the game was 5, but you only scored 1 goal, you look back through the game and you go, what the fuck hell? What's happened here? Just like in the Liverpool game today. Well, what happened was people blazing over the bar, and then you can look at the individual players and you can make adjustments. I absolutely don't think XG would ever replace. But if you are in the least bit interested, X Genius tells you all about how it was created, what caused it to be set up, who uses it, how it's used. It's by James Tippett, and it's called X Genius: Expected Goals and the Science of Winning Football Matches. Fascinating. Tells you about the kind of people who, for a living, tag games and how they decide what metrics they use. Fabregas managing Arsenal. No chance Fabregas left Arsenal in our hour of need. Oh, Mortlicky text. I think you and I are on the same page on that one. But I think most people would have him. The rest of you would have him, wouldn't you? You'd have him, Zanzi, wouldn't you?
As manager.
Well, yeah, we don't need another win the dog. What were you thinking?
I don't know. I mean, is he proven? That means said Arteta.
Was Arteta proven?
No.
If the question is Fabregas proven, he is currently with Como. It's worth saying, right? So not a highly prized team, like not a team that I don't think they've ever done anything, have they? But Como are currently 6th, ahead of Juventus, Atalanta, Lazio. So yeah, I think he's proving himself. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say he is proven, but they were in Serie B 2 seasons ago. So I think there's something there. X important. XP as well, expected points, is a stat you never see anyone talk about. Don't do it. He left for Barca. He would have always come back if Wenger would have had him, Fabregas. I think that's true as well. That is one thing with Wenger. He was very salty about players who wanted to come back. I think Manu Petit wanted to come back. I think Fabregas wanted to come back, and he should have let him. But he shouldn't have left. XG was for fantasy football. No, it wasn't. I cannot stress. I recommend this book, Boxed. I think you'd really enjoy it. I'm listening to it on audio, chapter a night. Just can't forgive Arsene for not re-signing Fabregas. Why would he put it in a clause if he didn't want to take the chance? Because Cazorla and Fabregas would have been great to have. Oh, God, yeah. I agree. I totally agree. He didn't want Fabregas back. He didn't. He didn't want Vieira. He let Vieira go because he was over 30. Madness. Fabregas didn't want to go to Chelsea initially. I heard that. I don't know if it's true, but I heard it. Then they can suck a nut, lol. No, it's a strange fruit. It's a strange fruit. I love that. This is just random, but I think he means because of sucking up. So listen, you guys. It's a tonic. It's an absolute tonic doing this show. I can only tell you that every single time I'm not feeling 100% well and I come on here, I find myself feeling considerably better. So I can only thank you for that so much. Tonight's show was sponsored by Mortlicky, Texas, which is an absolutely brilliant thing to do. Thank you. Imagine when Gyökeres and Eze really click. When Eze really clicks, it's going to be a thing of beauty. Flamini wanted to do as he did Hleb and Sanchez. Sanchez is silly. Charles! Sorry for being late. Analyse our competition a bit. Who's actually wrong with Liv? What's actually wrong with Liv? Oh, Liverpool. I was thinking there was someone called Liv that because I'm just because Kirk is not doing his job. There's a lot wrong there, though, isn't there? There's a lot wrong. They just haven't gelled yet. I think they're tired. I don't know. The Jota thing. The 3 things I put it down to were too many players leaving that were a big part of everybody's experience at Liverpool. The loss of Diogo Jota that had an impact, and the fact that every game you're reminded of it at Anfield, that's got to be difficult as well. If someone you love was lost in such a sudden and horrible way. But then, he's changed the whole setup of the game. Like, he started off playing Wirtz, that's not worked. He's benched Wirtz. I mean, benching a £130 million player. Can you imagine the shit Arteta would get for that?
The Arsenal fan club would melt down, wouldn't they?
There would be emergency streams 48 hours long. How could he buy? He's ruined this player. Like, Shane Gooners always saying, "Oh, Saka's not going to ever be the same player he was." I was like, fucking looks like he's all right. I don't know. Is there a chance you could be wrong? No. Can make their defense that bad. I do feel for Kirkes. He does not look the player he was. He doesn't look great. But Conor Bradley, they're as bad at both fullback positions, changing both fullbacks in the season. Although I can make excuses for Liverpool, but then you look at Bournemouth and they changed their entire back four and they're actually doing better than Liverpool. I'm stretching credibility a little bit there. I don't really think that Bournemouth are doing better than Liverpool, I should say I don't think Bournemouth will do better than Liverpool. But the league table currently has Bournemouth ahead of Liverpool.
Yeah, in fact, they're dead tied because of goal difference scored and against is exactly the same.
Yeah, so it's an alphabetical order, but it counts. Imagine winning the league on alphabetical order. That's the best reason to be Arsenal, isn't it?
What I don't understand is why is AFC Bournemouth ahead of Arsenal when it's Athletic Football Club, isn't it? So it's AT, and T comes after R in the alphabet.
Yeah, you're right. But you know what? If it ever came down to that, they'd say, "Oh no, you have to be T because you're the Arsenal." See you all next time. Getting a second wind here. Don't go. Good night, everybody, and have a great week ahead. Gosh, this is what's happening. Cheers, everybody. Hope you're all beautiful geniuses. Love it. Good night, everyone. Have a great week. I'll speak to you soon. To be fair, Salah missing from 10 yards out isn't comprehensible. He doesn't look happy, does he? Come on, you Gunners, this midweek. Champions League against Simeone's team. Everybody's favourite manager. Everyone wants him.
Maybe Salah's upset because he hasn't scored as many goals as has not scored more goals than Timber.
How many goals has he scored? Any?
Yes, he scored 2.
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah, Timber scored 2. Yeah.
Yeah, but how many Salah scored?
2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Salah, I think, at the age that Salah is now, he's allowed a break, isn't he? I mean, he's got the AFCON coming up. Yeah. And Egypt could go deep in that. I mean, what did Liverpool do there?
Wow.
He's got to be one of the best signings ever, isn't he? Like most.
He's not a bad player, really.
10 years, 9 years he'll have done at Liverpool. 9 years. Has he scored over 30 goals every season or something? It's just ridiculous. Oops, shit. Got to be careful. Good night to those off. You smell it. Salah is an amazing player, losing confidence. Yeah, I think he'll come back. Wirtz played well. When did he fuck? Do you think he played well? I don't think any of them played well. I know Salah didn't play well, but I didn't think Wirtz played well. I thought he came on a bit late, to be honest. I was surprised he didn't come on sooner. He was making key passes. His passing game's starting to come good. That's where you want Florian Wirtz. He's a great player, really. Right. Sarcasm done. Oh, right. I should have seen that. That is bad. That tells you it's time to wrap the show up. That was my bad. You're absolutely right. I should have picked that. I can't believe I didn't. Box Fresh, you deserve better from your host. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully a little less ill. Zandy, I hope you can join me. What are your closing arguments for the night?
I don't have any arguments.
Closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. It's been emotional. Dan, you are whatever I said you were earlier, which
Every
I've
other time.
the word is now.
Just get you, I'm going to do a little programmed AI of you for this bit.
Fresh up or something. No, was it? It wasn't fresh up, was it? It was fresh up, wasn't it? I think.
What?
You're a
Fresh up?
legend. Yeah.
Damn VAR check. Yellow card. Now get well, you slag. Yeah,
and everyone in chat's been absolutely wonderful.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Especially Texas.
Malt Licky, Texas. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to say, I think Cole S, for his question, who out of the Invincible team walks into our current squad? And there's a few of you, though. I think you're all amazing. And obviously, I'm so grateful you're here. So thank you for being here. And until tomorrow night, when there's a few new things I want to try out and talk about and get your opinions on. And we'll do a review of the week with all the Premier League games done. But it's a great time to be an Arsenal fan. We're top of the league. We are top of the league. I'm shameless about it. This is our season. Until I see you again soon. Be lucky and lots of love.